Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Hello, Michael. Well, thank you for coming in today. Appreciate that you're making the commute, even though it's been a rough series of weeks for you and your family. Just know that we appreciate your dedication to the job. I think we're all part of one big family here at 8PR Incorporated, including you, Michael. No, sorry, we're actually not doing raises this year, for, obvious reasons. I think you just should be grateful you have a job.
Why is our intro roleplay so toxic?
I've got a lot of, unresolved issues with my last job, so it's just kind of coming out here.
I see.
Anyway, welcome back to Rokkenjima.
Indeed.
What's going on here? Last time we were here, Jessica, I believe, was about to go hang out with Kinzo for a little bit.
Quality time with Grandpappy.
Yeah! Oh, I get to narrate this one again.
Yeah.
Yeah! Bet you all missed me.
I missed
and my
you.
nose noises. Hold on, I got another one for you. Some good nose noises. Of course, since the time of her birth, Jessica had been raised in this mansion. The atrophied Western-style house that the cousins called a mansion was her home. And yet she had never understood her cousin's feelings as much as she did today. At the same time, she had never felt her own home, which she knew so well, to be as alien as it seemed now. Her own room. This had once been her hideaway, the only place in this vast mansion where she could feel at peace. However, she had never felt as much pressure coming from that door as she did now.
A test, you say? What the hell could be waiting in there? I'm not gonna find my desk and stuff dragged around all over the place, right?
You didn't fuck with my E, right? That's not cool. The murder games I get, but fucking with that is just, that's a line you shouldn't cross. She acted tough, trying to deceive herself, trying to make herself believe that she wasn't scared of anything. Readying herself, she opened the door to her room.
And scene change.
That was abrupt. And her room is inverted colors.
Oh, it didn't scene change. I figured we wouldn't know what happens to her and it would cut to the next kid.
It literally, well, the thing is that, the scene started with her, so, why, that'd be weird.
It would be, but I figured it's what they do.
When she saw that, fortunately, the room didn't appear to be messed up, she relaxed. No one was there. Of course. It's like she gets the SMT message. You sense an immense power coming from behind this door. What will you do? There was nowhere for anyone to hide here. Right away, Jessica locked the door behind her. This way, the room was safe. She peeked under the bed and in the closet, but of course no one was hiding.
What the hell?
She looked at the clock. It was just past 23:10. As her tension lessened and fatigue came back to her entire body, she realized how messed up this whole day had been. It was still about 2300. The plan had been for all the cousins to gather, have fun playing around, and talk animatedly about various things together into the night. I don't know about you, but I always planned to talk animatedly.
Yeah.
Oh no! You see the person down there?
I was looking at that too and was like, what's going on?
It's Bob
there?
Twin Peaks!
Oh shit!
What's he doing here? Normally we would have been doing that kind of thing right now. Why has that turned into this?
It's all that damn geezer's fault.
Yeah, keep that anger.
How could he do that? To Mom? To everyone?
She shook her head back and forth with anger and sadness, but there was no one here to direct those emotions at. Because of the lock, this room's security was guaranteed. Remembering that one more time, Jessica somehow regained her calm. If it keeps up like this and nothing happens, I want to go to the dining hall and see Mom's dead face. Even though Goda emphasized so strongly that it was gruesome, and that I definitely shouldn't go to look at it. Even so, I wanted to see her face at the end. But we were warned repeatedly that stepping out of line, even a little, would put the hostages in danger. Could it be that locking the door was also against the rules? If I close myself up in here, I alone might be saved. But if I don't open it, it'll surely be against the rules. And Dad, Ken-kun, Shannon, Aunt Kyrie, and Dr. Nanjo will be killed. There's no way the scales will balance out between 5 lives and my own 1 life. Jessica tightly shut her eyes, resting the other part of herself that said, "Isn't it okay as long as I stay alive?" Faced the door and made to unlock it. At that time, a crisp applause rang out, making Jessica's heart leap. Congratulations. If the door had remained locked, it might have been in violation of the rules, and harm could have come to the hostages. But despite that, your own life might be saved. However, you resisted that temptation and were about to unlock the door yourself. That bravery of yours is worthy of admiration.
Who?
If I, the owner of this room, searched everywhere where a human could have been hiding, where did this man come from? There was nowhere for a human to hide. But could something non-human have managed it? This was supposedly my first meeting with this largely built, middle-aged man. I didn't recognize this guy, who looked like a butler and bore the crest of the one-winged eagle. It's a pleasure to meet you, Jessica-sama. I serve as head furniture for the master, the 27th of the 72. I am called Ronove.
Ronove? Genji-san?
So, interesting, because Genji-san was the basis for Ronove in some degree, and we were speculating that somehow Ronove's appearance on the island might be somehow linked to Genji.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. Genji is like my little brother. Or perhaps he was my true form while in this world. You might even say he was my vessel.
What's this guy saying?
Anyway, could I interest you in a snickerdoodle in a box? I've been told the box adds a lot to the presentation. Oh, my apologies. This is not something a human would be able to understand. Well then, let us move on to the main event.
So this is that test, or whatever the damn geezer talked about?
Correct. This is the test that the master has granted you, Jessica-sama. At Ronove's elegant gesture, like that of a butler ordering for a meal to be set out, many gold butterflies flew up out of nowhere.
What the hell?
As the cloud of gold butterflies spun around in a small swirl, they gathered in one place. Then that golden mound disappeared like a pile of leaves, blown away by a cold, wintry wind. And there lay a western envelope with the one-winged eagle crest done on it in gold leaf. With a gesture, Ronove urged her to pick it up. Jessica timidly did so and opened the letter inside.
I've been invited to Smash Ultimate?
It's quite an honor to be invited, so...
I see, so that's my test.
You'll have to match up... Okay, we're not doing this. I think we've done that gag every time an envelope is...
It's funny every time.
It is.
Sound off in the comments if you are correct. If you correctly believe that it's funny every time.
I think it's pretty funny.
What's this?
It is an exceedingly simple test to determine whether one is qualified to become the successor. Please, attend to the question written there with a fitting attitude for the successor who is to support the Shiromiya family. And tell me your answer, as well as the thoughts that led you to it.
Dumbass.
I have endured worse. Shaking, Jessica looked between the paper and Ronove's face several times.
We don't get to see what's on the paper.
It's called the Peaceable Queen's Problem. I told Kinzo was a fan of chess, so... At that time, George, who had been called out after Jessica, could be seen in the arbor of the Rose Garden. If things had gone normally, he planned to give Shannon the ring that would be proof of their engagement, here, at this time, on this day. But the woman in front of George now was not Shannon.
It's the Gap! I'm back, bitch! Read it. That is Goldsmith's test for you.
George picked up the western envelope, which was on the table where he'd once had tea with Shannon, and read its contents. Perhaps its message was short. After glancing at it, George's eyes grew sharp.
What's this supposed to be?
It's as you see. This is the test given to you to see if you're qualified to be the successor. As you ask yourself whether you truly are so qualified, answer that question.
What a stupid question.
That's right. It really is a stupid question. Doesn't that mean the Ushiromiya family inheritance is also something on that level in Goldsmith's eyes?
George lowered his eyes to the surface of the letter, once again examining its contents. George and Jessica. While the tests given to them were slightly different, they were almost exactly the same.
Is the difference going to be... Oh, we're finding it out now.
Okay. Among the three mentioned... Oh, this is going to be Jessica reading this.
Among the three mentioned below, in order to gain 2, sacrifice 1.
Oh, that's George.
Well, you sound like Jessica there for a moment. Is that the Ushiromiya family curse I keep hearing about?
Yes.
It's a simple 3 choices. Decide for yourself which one you will choose to abandon. If you refuse to choose, the test will be suspended. I've been given permission to kill you right here by my own hands. If you want to include even that as a choice, then there are 4 options. It's been an awful long time since I got to play with a kid like you, so I can't say I'd be disappointed. This outfit's itchy.
Are these 3 choices only a test? Or will the consequence of my choice be carried out?
Don't be so naive. The one you choose will definitely lose their life.
Among the three mentioned below, in order to gain 2, sacrifice 1. 1, your life. 2, Shannon's life. 3, everyone else's lives. If you do not choose one, all of the above will be lost.
Everyone else's is definitely the Keenzo answer.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
That's what he wants
But here's
to
the
hear.
problem. If everyone picks that, then everyone still winds up dying.
Yeah? Or everyone except for whoever successfully finishes off the last one.
Yeah. And I don't see Kinzo being the kind of altruistic person where the correct answer is to sacrifice your life to save everyone else's.
It's absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, he was very clear that wealth and power in his eyes are a matter of stepping on everyone beneath you and cutting down all who stand in your way.
Nice.
Why is Shannon's name
Look at that
here?
George face. Have we seen that George face before?
I don't think so.
That's a good George face.
The second choice is the name of the one most needed and most loved by the test taker. I believe Cannon's name is written second on Jessica's test.
You gave this stupid question to Jessica, too?
You shouldn't be worrying about Jessica, right? Right now, you are the one being tested. It really is a simple 3-choice test, which you can throw away for the sake of the other. Can you throw away for the sake of the other 2? Isn't that simple? If you still can't decide, would you like me to lend you a coin?
A coin?
Yeah, it's a 3-sided coin. Turns out you can make one of those, you know?
I see.
Actually, the maths behind how you do a 3-sided coin are really fascinating. Because it winds up being a cylinder. And you can convince yourself this is true pretty easily. But like a coin is essentially just a tiny cylinder with barely any width, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea, but if you had a cylinder, just a long cylinder, it would always land on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is somewhere in the middle of that spectrum, there's got to be a probability where the probability of landing on the side of the cylinder is the same as we're landing on either of the faces.
Has it been built?
It hasn't, because there's no real way to figure out what that ratio would be other than trial and error, which people have done. But that's not really important. But
It is important.
interesting.
No one would throw away their own life. So there remain 2 choices that will leave you standing. You give up everyone for the sake of the one you love? Or will you give up on the one person you love so you can save as many people as possible? Either way, you should be able to find a fitting just cause. After all, this Rokkenjima is now a demon island. The sentimental relationships of the human world aren't necessary here. No one will blame you. Do as your heart desires, and ask yourself whether you're qualified to succeed the Ushiromiya family headship. Or rather, make your decision as if you were truly worthy of Ushiromiya family head, okay? Nyeh.
Whose name is going to be on battlers? If Battler takes that test, whose name is it?
Huh. That's really
And
interesting.
if Maria takes it and the name is something like Sakutaro, what does that imply?
Yeah. That's interesting. We'll see. Fuck you guys mocking me like this.
They let Jessica say fuck. Yes. Yes.
I'll say it
Ushiromi and
again.
Jessica finally says fuck. Jessica crumpled the letter up and threw it on the floor. I believe your anger is quite appropriate. I also find it an exceedingly pitiful and yet truly humorous question.
How could anyone wish to die themselves? How could anyone want to remain alive after abandoning the life of the one they love?
Oh, you got there quicker than I would have expected.
And how could anyone massacre everyone else as long as it's good for the two of them?
No, Jessica-sama. Such a person could exist. This is Rokkenjima, the demon island. It is now completely cut off from the human world and fully immersed in the spirit world like cheese fondue. Values of the human world get taken out with the trash.
Does the cheese fondue get taken out in the trash?
No.
Okay.
The cheese fondue is a metaphor.
But the trash
We
is
also
literal?
We also have cheese fondue, if you would like some.
Yeah, all of this rage is making me pretty hungry.
I can understand so. So please, rank the things you desire from the bottom of your heart. Whatever remains will become a fitting answer for you in this insane evening.
Don't fuck with me. How could I choose any of these?
If you do not choose one, all of the above will be lost. Also makes for a fine fourth option. Even choosing that should give us an amusing show.
That's different than what George was told.
Is it? How?
George wasn't told all of them would be lost if he didn't pick one. He was just told, oh, the test will be suspended and I'll kill you here.
Oh, I for some reason had it in my head that George also knew the same thing would happen.
I don't know, maybe he did and I missed it.
Yeah, but either way, that's an interesting subtlety to keep in mind. But since that choice will result in the loss of your own life in the end, I would believe it would be more wise to be pure and choose the first one, your life, so that the other two will be saved. Everything has been entrusted to your decision, Jessica-sama. Please, let me hear an answer and conviction fitting for the successor to the Ushiromi family headship. I, Ronove, am sincerely hoping for a wonderful answer, fitting the master's descendant who shares his blood.
Damn it!
Also, I found this while setting up the ambush. I'm sorry. Would you like your pills back? I saw you were looking for those. That scene was observed through the magic crystal ball that Kinzo held. Of course he has a magic crystal ball. Why wouldn't he? Kinzo finally couldn't hold it back, and...
I actually have a pair of crystal balls, as it were.
This one isn't a crystal ball. It's just a closed circuit television feed. The screen looks like a crystal. I don't know why. Kinzo finally couldn't hold it back and, spreading his arms and facing the heavens, began laughing in an explosive voice.
What are you wavering for, foolish grandchildren, my descendants? Isn't this problem so easy that you could answer right away? Isn't this a question that should cause you to waver less than whether to put butter or jam on your morning toast? It takes me quite a long time to figure that one out. I usually make Genji pick for me.
I think the answer Kinzo wants is to sacrifice the one you love.
I don't think so, because he would sack his entire family to get Beato back.
Yeah, but he would also sacrifice Beato for the sake of his ambitions.
Would he?
Maybe. Now that you've said it out loud, I'm less convinced in my answer. Anyway, he turned to face the Chester sisters, who had been waiting on him.
No, my apologies. I don't know Lord Goldsmith. Fool, not choosing at all means game over. You foolish rabbit who cannot even choose a reason or a goal for your own life.
She can't choose a reason for her own life. She's not fit to remake the Vortex world.
I see.
I've got SMT poisoning. Please help.
You aren't worth a single ant that anyone might step upon without even noticing. Die, be crushed, disappear faster than I can blink.
Don't be mean to the Chesters.
And what of you? I would sacrifice the first one, your own life, sir. Weapons fight and die in battle, and weapons exist to destroy enemies and protect allies. Being able to protect those we love and then die is our satisfaction, sir. Huh. A truly splendid model answer for a weapon. The immediate reply is very nice. So, have you been raised to think you'll be given an extra carrot for answering that way?
Why is he suddenly being very aware of them being bunnies?
That's wrong, see? Even that is wrong, see? Answering that way when you are asked is nothing more than giving the answer you have been indoctrinated with. You are the same as that other rabbit a second ago. You still live without having chosen a purpose or a goal to strive for. You filth that doesn't deserve to live. It would suit you well to be crushed and used as fodder for the other livestock.
Kinzo's got some unresolved issues, huh?
Yes, sir. Animal fodder would be an honor. That's wrong, right?
Oh god! Kinzo's new expression is just so,
You don't want to see anyone else die anymore, right? Why can't you accept that? Accept that the depths of your old wound are still festering and rotting. Yes, the rotting stench would make the nose wrinkle, you foolish, rotten rabbit. These are words of praise for you. Thank you very much, sir.
Wow, Kinzo, have a normal one, huh?
Yes, for me this is a Wednesday. Or as I like to call it, Thursday. Well then, what about you, the last one? Which of the three choices would you choose? Without wavering, I'd choose the second one. Huh, the second. There are not many who could stick their chest out and choose to offer the one they love as a sacrifice. Tell me your reason. Because the one you love will be lost eventually. If you don't love anyone, you won't get hurt, and if you lose someone, you still might be able to love again. So, the person you love right now isn't worth that much at all, yeah.
That doesn't seem like a Kinzo answer, does it?
Yeah. I see. So that is why you reach such an answer, you rabbit who has become cowardly from pain caused by love.
Yeah, you know what? It makes way more sense that Kinzo would be about, no, throw away the world for the one that you love.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I have heard that rabbits can die from loneliness, but just when was it that your heart was killed? Then, rabbit, I shall alter the question.
It was when the other Chester died that one time.
Oh.
Probably.
Oh.
I'm assuming here.
That's rough, buddy. Anyway, new question coming at ya. Why don't I change the second option to not the one you love, but the memories of the one you love? How is that? Can you still select that one? What's this about the one you love not being worth much at all, foolish rabbit? Filth who cannot even face up to the depths of her own love?
Give me a chance to answer.
Try and choose it. Try and choose to have the one you loved forgotten. You can do it, right? I'll bet you can, right? Come on, try saying that you can, okay? Yes, I can choose it. I can choose it. Lord Goldsmith, please stop this. Enough, rabbit filth. Go to Virgilia and help keep watch on the dungeon. Disappear.
The Chester sisters, with their respective old wounds of the heart gouged out, escaped by disappearing. After that, even though there was no one to hear, Kinzo continued talking by himself as though in a play. Monologue time!
Indeed. That is the nature of this charming test. In truth, no choice can be said to be correct. Instead, regardless of which answer they choose, it is about whether they can choose without hesitation, quickly, and with a resolute conviction and their own strong, unshakable will. It's their reason and their willpower that are most essential. That is what I want to learn. Yes, my descendants, I am truly looking forward to what kind of answer you will show me. Me? Yes, of course, I once had the same question thrust upon me.
Who is he talking to?
Because I splendidly answered that devil's question, I was able to obtain gold and honor, and that which is my possession. Which answer did I choose? Do you really need me to say it out loud?
He chose to sacrifice everyone else.
Yep.
He would have to have. Unless that's what they're trying to bring us to believe, and there's really another layer to Kinzo's thinking. Well then, have you nearly decided on your answer? As Jessica stared at the letter that had been crushed and lay on the floor, she hung her head in constant silence. All that filled the room was the stir from wind and rain shaking the treetops. Regardless of how noisy that was, it actually made the stillness more apparent. Ronove waited for Jessica's answer. However, Jessica didn't answer. Whether she was lost in deep thought or had stopped thinking, Ronove couldn't tell. No, he might actually have known, but cruelly, like a demon. Ronove urged Jessica to voice it. If you cannot choose any, I can at least bring you peace without pain, but...
Me.
Yes? I had trouble hearing. Could you say it again, please? Jessica lifted her face and looked straight into Ronove's eyes. It seemed that she had decided on her answer.
Kill me.
Jessica said it one more time, clearly. Perhaps Ronove had imagined that this would be her answer from the very beginning. Without any surprise, he smiled and lightly and nodded. I thought you would choose that answer, Jessica-sama. Well then, there is no right or wrong answer to this test. The essential part is what thoughts led you to that answer. Come now. Please answer with a fitting attitude for the successor.
It's not like I chose the first one because I want to die. The second one was letting Canon-kun die. Of course, that was out of the question. So I excluded it. The third one was everyone else's lives. Of course, that was also out of the question. So I excluded it. After that, only the first choice remained.
Process of elimination. So it was not something you chose proactively. After chuckling slightly, Ronove dropped his gaze. A human couldn't even imagine what answer a demon would have been expecting. All she could understand was that this was apparently slightly below Ronove's expectations. That answer is neither bad nor good. 60%, I believe you would call it. I'm a little disappointed.
You're a pretty selfish bastard, telling me to answer with self-confidence, and then being disappointed when I do?
Apparently there was more to it than the process of elimination. It's a failing grade either way, but there seems to be a little more to your thoughts. Allow me to ask.
People don't want to die, so no one would want to choose the first option. People want to live in happiness and struggle as much as life will let them. So normally the first choice should be impossible from the beginning.
However, you took that first choice. You chose to throw away your own life. Only that choice remained for you.
I tried thinking of the future that would come after choosing each one.
Oh, and what did you see?
First, I tried letting Canon-kun die. I tried to imagine the rest of my life after having abandoned the one I love.
What kind of life was it?
It was a horrible woman who didn't deserve to live. A shabby woman who always lamented her own decision and lived only to regret. I could never forgive a horrible woman who'd choose to live and abandon the person she loved. I put an end to her myself.
How brave. So did you also consider the third option?
Yeah. I tried letting everyone but me and Canon-kun die. There's no way Canon-kun would like me if I did that. So again, even with Canon-kun, I was forced to bear the cross of abandoning so many people. And even Canon-kun was forced to bear it. I'm not going to make a foolish choice that leaves Canon-kun bearing that cross. I wouldn't be able to forgive a future me who did something like that. I put an end to that woman myself too.
Jessica had pictured it in her mind, the future beyond each of those three choices. There were 3 Jessicas. Of the 3, 2 had regrets. Only one could hold her head high and smile at Canon.
You know, I once had the nerve to preach something to Canon-kun. Something about trying to live life to the fullest.
Live your life to the fullest. Meaningful words, and a surprisingly difficult thing to do.
So yeah, I've got to stand proud and show Canon-kun. Show him how to live by holding your head high and looking straight at the sun with a full smile.
Will Canon be able to accept your self-sacrifice? Haven't you thought that your selfish decision might hurt him more than necessary?
That's why I want to leave a message.
Oh, I will listen, but I am, after all, a demon. I may not keep my promises, you see.
Keep it.
Wink!
Your promise.
Jessica spoke that, looking quite unconcerned. She had asked the demon who was about to take her life to pass on a message, and she didn't think at all that she would be betrayed. At that extremely innocent smile, Ronove closed his eyes lightly and shrugged his shoulders. I see nothing wrong with that. So, what shall I tell him?
Tell Canon-kun to live his life to the fullest. No, that's not quite it. Not Canon-kun. He still hasn't told me his real name yet. Tell the real Canon-kun to live his life to the fullest. Tell him that. And also, tell him to rewatch The Matrix.
Oh, if only she had remembered. Milady.
Nah! Jessica, you really are!
Ronove is fickle, so he might not have passed the message on. You certainly are fortunate to have me here showing you this scene.
A musty 3-sided mirror was set beyond the bars, and the scene with Jessica was reflected on it. On the next mirror, the scene with George was reflected in the same way. None of them questioned how a 3-sided mirror had appeared from a group of butterflies, nor did they wonder why these scenes with Jessica and George were reflected on it, because the reflected scenes themselves were more important. Are you so prepared to throw your life away? For his sake!
My apologies, sir.
Kraus looked at Cannon with a complicated expression mixed in with a bitter smile. Cannon wouldn't meet his eyes.
Virgilia-sama, there is no reason for Milady to throw away her life. Please kill me. Please change it to the second choice. That way everything should resolve itself.
I am not capable of granting that wish. After all, this is Jessica's own decision, which she herself chose.
At that time, suddenly, the air split and the Chester sisters appeared, flying into Virgilia's chest.
Virgilia-sama! So mean, so mean. Lord Goldsmith is so mean. I'm doing the best I can. Crushing me for animal fodder, that's just too much.
Virgilia, who still didn't have a clue what was going on, was mobbed by the sobbing Chester sisters.
There, everything's all right. Don't cry. I'll make you some delicious tea. I'm leaving it up to you all to guard this place. If they do anything suspicious, inform me immediately.
The goat attendants all faced each other, nodding their heads. Wait. Where did the goat attendants come from?
They've been here.
Okay. Virgilia took the Chester sisters and left. The sound of them going upstairs could be heard, so they probably had gone to an upper floor. Meh.
This is our chance. It looks like these goat heads are morons. I wonder if we can trick them.
Kyria realized that an opportunity had arrived, but even so, she hadn't thought of a way to break the metal bars. The Jessica reflected on the 3-sided mirror had her eyes closed, as though in contemplation. The way she had both hands stuck into her pockets, wanting to be defiant until the very end, Might have been her own aesthetic stance.
That's all I have to say. Kill me.
Understood. Well then, fear not, for I shall make your death more gentle and merciful than any sleep. As Runaway raised his palm, he slowly approached Jessica. Damn it! Ah! Gah! Realizing... Nah, what a time for the curse to kick in! Realizing that his daughter was about to be killed, Kraus went half mad and repeatedly body slammed the metal bars. The goats looked like they were sneering at how a mere human didn't stand a chance at breaking those bars. Kraus's pointless efforts certainly may have been comical, but Kraus was giving it everything he had. He was now living with all he had as Jessica's father, so that he could save her. Cannon made tight fists with both hands. If he used his cursed power, he might be able to cut through even metal bars. But there were a full 3 goats. They were goaded. There was no way he could defeat 3 of them in an instant. It would instantly be reported, and then even Virgilia and the Chester sisters would probably dash in. Even if he could break the bars, that would be the end of it. It was useless. Cannon already knew that the witch sneered at useless efforts like that, so he could do nothing but stare at Kraus's repeated body slams.
George-sama.
Shannon, who had been looking at the 3-sided mirror, raised her voice. Who's in the 3rd mirror? Is that Battle or Maria?
Nobody yet.
When they looked, they could see George, who had been silent the whole time, lift his face. It seemed that George had also decided on an answer.
To say.
Have you decided? On your answer, I mean.
Yeah, I've decided.
Is it an unwavering answer?
Yeah, it's unwavering.
Then let me hear it. Oh, by the way, it seems Jessica decided... You can tell them? to take the your life option. Surely such an indecisive person as you isn't going to choose the same answer, right?
Jessica gave her own answer. No matter which choice that was, it was Jessica's answer. It doesn't influence my answer in any way.
I see. Then let me ask again. Among the 3 mentioned below, in order to gain 2, sacrifice 1. 1, your life, 2, Shannon's life, and 3, everyone else's lives. Which one will you choose? Could it be the first one like Jessica?
Wrong.
Interesting.
Oh?
The Gap looked a little surprised, because she had thought this timid-looking man would obviously choose that option.
Very well then. I'm glad the most boring option for me has been removed. Then, as crazy as it sounds, could it be the second option? Can you abandon Shannon's life?
You must be joking. Why would I do that to the person I was going to give an engagement ring to tonight?
George! With the brass balls! His entire immediate family is dead. He has no more horse in this race.
Fuck the rest of y'all.
Fuck the rest of y'all. I'm out of here with my wife.
How bold. Is that your answer?
That's it. My answer is the 3rd option.
Oh, I love this George face. The one where he looks like mildly disconcerted. George took the 3rd option. Everyone else's lives. Unsurprisingly, the Gap hadn't imagined that he'd give an answer like that. She had been sure that he'd choose the same one as Jessica. So she was interested in how he had reached that answer. How he had reached an answer that surpassed the imagination of the 33rd ranked of the 72 demons.
I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me the circumstances that made it possible for you to sacrifice the lives of everyone else so that you and the fiancé you love would be safe. Did you use the process of elimination like Jessica?
Wrong. I clearly have no choice except this one.
So you didn't care what happens as long as it's good for you? So you could sacrifice the world for the woman you love?
What are you even talking about?
What?
George faced the demon as he spoke, almost as though he was disgusted.
Tonight, I planned on calling Shannon right here and giving her this ring as proof of our engagement. There probably are quite a few people who wouldn't celebrate an engagement between me and Shannon. I was prepared to make enemies of the entire family by announcing my engagement to her. I have been prepared since the time I came to this island. No, that's not it. Since the time I confessed that I wanted to engage her.
So you can sacrifice everything else as long as you can get married?
Marriage means continuing to be your wife's ally for your whole life. At that point, I was prepared to have the entire world as my enemy for her sake.
Those words, through the 3-sided mirror, also reached Shannon's ears. and that determination reached her eyes. Shannon certainly had promised to be given an engagement ring tonight. This incident had occurred and she hadn't been able to receive the ring. But now, even though it wasn't in the form of a ring, Shannon had received something even greater.
Oh, gee.
And as proof of that...
My boyfriend is going to kill his entire family for me. That's way better than any ring.
Aww. And as proof of that, a single tear with the same sparkle as a diamond dripped down.
I'm glad this 3-sided mirror came equipped with sound.
Yeah, I had it installed the other day. It's also got surround sound, high definition, satellite television.
They haven't invented satellites yet.
Yeah, they have. It's like what, mid-80s? Yeah, they have. Stop this.
What a courageous answer. I see, if I really think about it, this was an easy decision for you. After all, your parents were already killed on the first Twilight, right? By now, there's no one whose death would trouble you. I see, truly an easy choice.
Say whatever you want. This determination and choice are mine, and mine as the successor.
The sparkle in George's eyes was brilliantly sharp. For just an instant, the Gap felt the same sense of threat as Kinzo's, and was slightly overwhelmed.
I see. Yes, the same decision as Goldsmith. So even with your innocent face, you will also become a terrible demon in the future. What do you know? We may get along pretty well. You will succeed, Goldsmith. Eventually, it may even be summoned and serve you. That could be surprisingly interesting.
The Gap had needed to change her opinion of George. This man bore a determination and resolve unimaginable from his outward appearance, and not just now, but since the very beginning.
I am prepared to inherit the headship right away. No, that's not it. You told me to think as the head in this test, so I answered based on the premise that I am the head. No, even that's not it. I thought as the head himself. I am now the head of the Ushiromiya family.
Ow! How'd you make your glasses fog up like that during dramatic moments? It's really good.
I know, right? I've been practicing for years. I figured it'd be a skill I'd need when I killed my family and inherited the headship.
Yeah, fair enough. Splendid. To think you'd be able to go so far. It seems you truly are one to be reckoned with. Battlers and Maria's test remain, but I've got a good feeling that you'll pass. But only if that's your true, unexaggerated answer, you see.
Do you doubt my resolve?
No. Can you carry out the option you choose? Can you right now with your own hands offer all the lives that exist on this island as sacrifices? By your own hand?
Oh my god, that's a George face.
That's a George face.
What's it look like in the new art?
All right, let's see it. Oh, okay. To be fair, I think it's disgust. I like the new art a little bit better there, but
I like how distorted this one looks.
Yes, he's like he looks disgusted that she would even question his ability to do that. It's like, are you fucking? Of course I can.
I can. I've said I was prepared to do so several times.
Then return to the guest house right away and kill Battler and Maria. When that's done, I'll bring you the other hostages. Execute each of them except Shannon before her eyes. You can do it, right?
I can.
Holy shit, you can speak in bold?
Yes, I've been practicing bold text. I figured I'd need to be able to manipulate the typography in case I became a great sorcerer
Holy
someday.
Shit, you're way more prepared than I thought you were.
I know, right?
My resolve...
My resolve is on a whole different level from yours.
Then carry it out. Death for them all. Complete this blood-stained ceremony as the new Ushiromiya family head.
Understood. I'll carry it out. I'm already the Ushiromiya family head.
Yes, that's right. Stain that throne red by your own hands. You will become the king of the spirit world who controls the demons.
The Gap was convinced. This man was fitting to succeed Kinzo's madness. Shit! That mean Battler and Maria don't even get a chance? Oh wait, they went in order of priority.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica was... Oh, okay. So it's not that Battler and Maria don't get the chance, it's that someone won before they got there. And
we don't know that he won yet.
Still,
He's got to finish him off. Do you think that he'll win a 1v1 with Battler? I don't know.
I don't know.
Blow wind, cry thunder, celebrate the birth of the new Demon King. The Demon Island has now welcomed its new lord.
In response to the demon's call, a tempest raged more and more. Then a massive lightning bolt fell, its tearing thunder and brilliant light giving the sensation of a moment of silence.
So, about the order of the murders. I get to choose that, right?
Please, as you wish, Your Majesty, the new Demon King of Rokkenjima, as your heart desires.
Well then, to start, that means the first one's gonna be you. Got a problem with that?
Huh?
A gust of wind blew, stirring up George's jacket as if it was a cloak. It was very much like the cloak worn by the head. It definitely carried that impression of dignity. At that time, the Gap truly did see the storm wiped away, and the sky covered with a pure white and vast full moon. The man who called himself the new head bore the full moon on his back and sneered at the demon.
Even the lives of the entire Ushiromiya family are now part of my fortune. Reparations will be made for the damage that's been done, and it won't come cheap.
Son of a bitch, dude. Look at that disgusted How can anyone hate the old artwork in this?
Yeah.
Look at how expressive those faces are.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
You didn't seriously think you could take my parents, Aunt Natsuhi, Uncle Rudolph, Aunt Rosa, and Genji-san's lives and expect me to overlook it, right?
Oh, impressive.
Ronove was trying to press his palm against Jessica's chest and stop her heart. But right before he could, his hand stopped. On the carpet at their feet, 2 small red flowers bloomed with a plop, plop. The seed of those flowers was way up high, piercing into the heavens on Jessica's fist. Ronove's nose was stained red with spewing blood, and those drops had been dripping onto the carpet.
By the way, that just now was my answer as a maiden. My answer as the successor is different.
Allow me to ask.
The person I love, my family and my relatives, everyone. I'll protect them. If I'm the head, then that's my duty. Dad wasn't just swaggering around. He protected me and Mom. He fought the pressure of succeeding the Ushiromiya family for decades. That's why I know. Being the successor is nothing trivial. So you know what? I can give it up. Betting my own life is something I can do easily.
Jessica knew. She knew that in order to protect her family, her father had bluffed and fought alone continuously. Jessica understood something that his back had been telling her. Another left straight was buried into Ronove's face. That terrifying strike wasn't due to just the brass knuckles she was using. It was Oh, man.
That escalated very rapidly over the course of that sentence.
Yeah, it did. It was a strike of a person, a family head, who would throw away everything in order to protect.
If Dad's lost his qualifications to be the successor, then I, the next in line, will succeed the headship. Head of the Ushiromiya family, Ushiromiya Jessica. I'm not the kind of coward who'd let you do whatever you like anymore.
A wonderful answer. I shall change your score from earlier. +10 for that answer. +10 for that splendid left straight.
Which means that +20 more would make for a perfect 100, yeah?
As Ronove jumped backwards, somersaulting in midair, he violently wiped away the blood pouring from his nose. It had become not blood, but petals of a red rose. The blood on his face was wiped off, and in its place was a grin filled with delight he hadn't felt in so many centuries that he couldn't remember. I, Ronove, will test to see whether your resolve is worth full marks. Understand?
Shut up, come at me!
Come into the abyss.
What?
Suddenly, beneath George's feet, a pitch-black pitfall opened its mouth wide. Of course, George had no way of resisting. After being swallowed up by that, George fell out of a pitch-black hole that had opened up in the ceiling of the arbor. As George fell down, he was hit by a reverse roundhouse kick from a sharp stiletto heel, like a strike from a carefully aimed bee. The instant George, after being blown out of the arbor, thought he'd be swallowed up by a rosebush. Another pitch-black hole opened there and swallowed George up. Wow, the gap is not going down, huh?
Yeah.
And this time, a pitch-black hole opened up at the gap's feet, before her eyes, spitting a defenseless George out of it. She fights with portals!
Yeah.
At that time, the gap had already finished the preparatory motions for the next reverse roundhouse kick.
What is this?
Nothing personnel, kid. Welcome back.
Right side of the head, below the right armpit, side of the right knee. As Gap danced and spun like a small cyclone, she kept hitting him left foot, right foot, right foot with successive roundhouse kicks. The fourth one became a sweep, cutting George's feet out from under him and making him fall down. But of course there was no floor here, but a pitch-black hole, and George was swallowed up once again. The Gap once again spun around like a small cyclone. George was once again spat out from the ceiling of the arbor.
Take this and reflect. The abyss ends with a single strike. Die!
The sharp strike of the queen bee pierced the heavens like a rising cyclone. It kicked through George's lower chest as he fell from the ceiling. And then time froze. George was pinned in midair by the Gap's raised leg. Still pinned in midair, George moaned. Then the Gap, with George still hung up on her foot, grinned.
I'll admit it. At least your attitude is that of an adult. But that's no good unless you have power to go with it. Did you know? They say you need 3 kinds of power to rule this world. The first one is influence. The second is wealth. Do you know what the last one is?
I read it in a book. Force, right?
Correct. And that's where you're lacking.
The Gap finally released George. She kicked upwards one more time, changing into another roundhouse kick and knocking him into a pillar.
No one will feel a monarch without influence, without wealth, or without force. Kinzo possessed all 3 of those. That's why he reigned as a tyrant. If you're gonna call yourself Kinzo's successor, try showing me a bit of that majesty, okay? Come on, how long are you gonna sleep there? Stand up, okay? If you don't, you'll fall again, see?
Not bad movements, but I feel they are slightly unfitting for a lady.
Bastard!
I'm sorry, that was out of line, wasn't it?
Swaying around all over the place? Aren't you gonna strike back? Don't take me lightly, you fucking bastard!
Ronove dodged skillfully, jumped back, and avoided Jessica's fist. But he still didn't strike back himself. Because of his dodge that was as rapid as a fluttering flag blown by strong winds, Jessica's fist wasn't even able to touch him. I like how George's moment went from like, dear fucking god, to like, oh, you just got curb stopped. And
like I was saying, I don't know that George wins the 1v1s. Resolve he's got, carrying through, following through on it.
Yeah, he's got a resolve face.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man, amidst the sensation that her own blood was boiling, Jessica regained her offensive composure. Even though this room was large for a bedroom, it was a very cramped place to keep up such an exaggerated dodges for long. She calmly realized that and started using not just her fists, but her legs as well. Oh, boxing with just your arms makes you but half a fighter. Your arms must be like the hot roar of a lion, and your legs must be like the cold snake closing in on its prey.
Snakes don't have legs, dumbass!
That is true. Jessica began cornering Ronove towards the wall with perfect footwork. She didn't let him get around her. Ronove's magnificent dodges looked flashy, but they needed a large footing. Once cornered, he wouldn't be able to dodge anymore. Jessica knew the characteristics of her weapon, the brass knuckle, very well. This powerful weapon's most notable characteristic was how it didn't give the opponent a chance to defend. Even if they blocked with their arm, that arm would receive direct damage. If it hit the wrong way, it might even break the bone. So she cornered him. With this fist, she'd whittle away at this demon who'd lost any way to escape. Oh, whoops.
Wait.
Oh, that's Jessica.
Whoops. Oh, when did... Looks like I finally cornered you, right? Where is everyone being held? Where's that damn geezer? You tell me everything, I'll let you off with nothing more than plucking that mustache off. Got it?
That would be a problem. It does take me an hour every morning to set this.
Once you're in a cast, you won't even be able to do that, right?
Oh, whoops. Ronove had blocked Jessica's fist with his arm. He tried to act as though it was no big deal, but it must have hurt a lot. Jessica grinned. Ronove smiled the same way, but twitched slightly. I see. This certainly does hurt.
Here's my last bit of advice. Cry and apologize.
That I cannot do. It would ruin my image.
I'm gonna ruin your image. Then just crumple. Rapid fire!
Jessica's fists were buried into Ronove, but there was a resistance that seemed too hard, and the sound of breaking glass which startled Jessica. At a glance, it looked like Ronove had caught Jessica's fist with his palm. That wasn't quite true. When Ronove opened his hand, a faint purple glowing barrier like a glass shield appeared, stopping the attack by a hair's breadth. But Jessica will just punch through your fucking barrier magic, I guess? Pulling herself together, Jessica let her fists fly again, but with a truly magnificent gesture, Ronove caught all of them. I am, after all, a demon. This level of magic is nothing. Even so, you aren't bad at all. If I were a human, I would probably resign right here. But because I am a demon, I can still continue to fight.
What are you trying to pull?
Is this the end? Are you simply going to attack all this time while neglecting your defense?
Huh? Ah!
Ronove's palm shot to within a hair's breadth of Jessica's stomach. Jessica was knocked away by the purple shield, rolled backwards, and smashed her head on the bed. My shield cannot be broken by a mere human. Don't think that you'll ever be able to touch my body again.
In that case, I'll just burst through that shield.
Persistent, I see. Yes, a truly fitting spirit for the successor. Perhaps I'll be your opponent for just a while longer. This is also part of an examiner's role.
Break! Ah!
The Gap looked down on George, sneering. George was on a path in the rose garden, lying face down in a puddle. The merciless rain beat down on him so that it looked as though even the heavens were mocking him.
Stand up, okay? You'll fall again, right?
George stood up shakily. It seemed his spirit hadn't given in, but the damage done to his body was fairly significant.
Beg for your life. What you're doing now is the same as the fourth option of choosing nothing. You chose the third option, right? If you get down on your hands and knees and apologize, I'll forgive your rudeness towards me. Then I'll guide you down to the dungeon. There, for your beloved Shannon in your own powerless life, you will kill the other hostages one by one. You can do it, right? You did boast about having that resolve.
George didn't answer, but his gaze was still obstinately resisting surrender.
If you are too obstinate, then this time you really will fall to the deepest depths of the abyss, okay? I've got a portal gun, and I'm not afraid to use it.
The Gap's strength was evident. And that was probably clear, even more than it was to George himself, to Shannon's group watching through the three-sided mirror.
George-sama, that's
The hottest thing I've ever seen.
for someone like me.
Ne-san.
If you didn't like me, you wouldn't have to fight with anyone, right, George-sama? Then please, abandon me. Please forget me.
There was no way that voice could have reached George. But even so, George answered.
No way. I won't surrender.
Oh? Why not?
Because that's my resolve. I'll fight everything for Shannon's sake. And I'll make everything accept us. And bless us.
Hey, could you tell me something? Why are you willing to go so far for that furniture called Shannon? She's just a washout, isn't she? Rubbish furniture that couldn't even make a satisfactory waitress.
I won't permit any more insults against the woman I love.
So what are you gonna do about it? How could a weak kid like you resist me?
Loving someone is strength. Because I learned that, I was able to become strong.
Rips off his tuxedo, is absolutely jacked underneath.
I look scrawny when fully clothed.
What movie was that in?
That was not from a movie. It was from that one episode of Angel Beats.
Oh, wait, that was part of it. Yeah. But there was also a film where they pulled a gag like that. And they green screened the guy's head on top of a muscle guy's body. It was really funny.
Oh, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that wasn't Angel Beats, wasn't it?
Shannon, I love you.
Okay, new theory, now that you've mentioned Angel Beats. They're all in the afterlife. And they're all, this is all purgatory for the, I don't know, I got nothing.
Okay, so this is the Matrix simulation.
I fucking knew it!
With just those words, I can stand back up over and over again.
Shannon's in the dungeon, right? Professing your love to me won't...
No. She heard. That's because it's love. Shannon can hear my words right now. The reason I can believe that is because of love.
You!
Shannon, you aren't furniture. Even if you are furniture, you're mine alone, the only one for me in the world. I want you to be close to me as long as we live. I need you for all eternity.
This is great and all, then you remember the age gap between them and you're like, hold on.
George Sama.
Maybe we can, like, headcanon Shannon to be, like,
a
little bit older.
I believe you mean head Shannon?
Head Shannon.
No, I believe they meant headcanon. Also, who said that? I'm jealous. He surpassed my husband in smooth talking.
That shoots for you. Anyway, I'm anyone else want to be frustrated?
Even non-Joe blushing.
The strength of love? Then why are you so weak, boy? Doesn't that weakness make your love is also weak? Even your love for your fiancé is weak. The way your parents died so quickly was weak. Everything about your life is weak.
Shannon taught me about love and strength. If you're trying to measure my love towards Shannon by my strength alone, let me teach you about my love.
So you say. I get it now. You're saying the way you can still stand up after being kicked down so many times is the strength you received from Shannon. In that case, what did you receive from your parents who got killed way too easily? Huh?
Gun. Blam.
This semi-automatic rifle. At that time, there was a blackout. Even though they were outside?
No, this is...
The thing blocking the gap's vision was the bottom of George's shoe.
Sidekick. Nasal bone fractured.
It had stopped right in front of the tip of the gap's nose.
The thing I got from Mom was this kick.
Right, because Ava did a lot of martial arts.
Yep.
Several moments later, the gap jumped back. Look at that face! Oh my god! Of course, that was too late. If George hadn't stopped, he probably would have caused the damage he'd announced.
And what I got from Dad is fortitude.
Anger with a low boiling point isn't something to be truly feared. True anger is disciplined by fortitude.
I recognize your violent method of declaring your intentions.
This music, by the way.
Yeah?
You hearing this?
Yeah?
Oh, man!
I also see that you've slandered my fiancé and my parents' honor. And you have no intention of taking back what you said, yes?
You!
I now understand your attacks more than enough. So maybe it's about time. Time to start fighting back.
Quit prattling, foolish boy.
A pitch-black hole opened its mouth at George's feet. But George rapidly opened his legs, straddling the hole. The same move won't work again. It was an extremely smooth dodge, and the upper part of his body didn't even quiver.
Fortitude means calmly analyzing how your opponent will act, instead of losing your cool. Why? Isn't it obvious? Can't you guess?
No, I can't.
It's to counter, to give back exactly what you got, to make them not want to take another pass at you, to make them cover their face in tears and snot and forget to wash it off.
Was George bullied a lot as a kid?
Not after his mom taught him the high kick.
Apparently.
to make them want to rub their forehead on the ground and apologize over and over, to completely, perfectly, and thoroughly beat them until they can't get up.
I love George's battle theme here. This is great. George dashed. Pitfalls opened one after another, but George didn't step in them again. And because he was persistent, he was able to reach the gap a second time.
Reverse roundhouse, jaw fractured.
It was stretched out more forcefully and beautifully than the gap's had been. Of course, while it centered directly on the gap's face, it stopped a hair's breadth away. Perhaps she couldn't rely on pitfalls at this close range. The gap kicked at George's shins as a diversion. And in the instant of weakness when he tried to deal with that, she aimed a kick at his stomach. It was a bee-like stab by her stiletto heel, but it sliced through air where George no longer was.
High axe kick, collarbone fractured.
Yeah!
By the gap's side, George calmly announced that his foot still raised. If that monarch's heel had swung down, a collarbone fracture probably would have been the least of her worries.
This guy is stronger than me at close range? I need distance.
She jumped backwards to open a large gap between them. She jumped and leapt and even flipped in midair, increasing that distance. It should have been magnificent, but for some reason it was very similar to the movements of a small, scared animal. If she opened the distance between them, she'd be able to fight at the range that was her specialty, using a mixture of pitfalls and kicking techniques.
You fool! You'll regret the pride that made you let 3 chances of defeating me slide as you fall into the depths of the abyss, huh?
When she magnificently landed and tried to aim a pitfall, a razor-sharp wind cut the gap's bangs. Yes, it cut them. It happened twice. This time it didn't just stop a hair's breadth away, but scattered her bangs with its air pressure.
Armata con martello. The fundus of the eye fractured with the first strike. Cerebral contusion with the second strike.
Nah!
The gap was too shocked to speak. George had closed in all that distance in an instant, letting off a fearsomely nimble mid-air double kick. Furthermore, with the accuracy and edge of a razor, it had cut nothing more than several of her bangs.
I learned the power of kicks from karate, speed from taekwondo, and freedom of range from capoeira.
I have over 400 confirmed kills.
While you were playing video games, I was studying the kick. Mom was pretty fickle, but I've learned from studying various merits.
Why don't you hit me, huh? You weren't gonna say become a woman, right?
You spoke of force as a monarch's third power. It looks like you still misunderstand the meaning of that force. In this situation, force doesn't mean hastily wielded violence. It refers to a deterrent, knowledge that if someone opposes the monarch, that person won't get away unharmed.
A deterrent, you say?
In short, this is what it meant. This was why all of George's attacks up until then had stopped a hair's breadth away. These bare misses, which were more difficult than hitting directly, had all been performed so splendidly. Also, if George had wished it, any one of those would probably have crushed the gap. He had, daringly, not done that.
You said it yourself, right? Force is the power to control. If you crush your opponent with force, you won't be able to control them, right? A monarch's force is something that is only shown. He does not crush. He makes others surrender and adds them to his own fortune. If you start blowing bubbles, I won't be able to make you guide me to where the hostages are.
The gap had to admit it. She had to admit that George understood force in its truest sense.
You'll take me to where everyone is. I would advise against resisting. I won't stop short next time.
Nah! Sorry, Leah. Let me borrow your troops. This guy's too much for me to handle.
As a large pitch-black hole opened in the sky, thunk, 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 3 muscular goat attendants fell out. They surrounded George.
Reinforcements? Should I take this to mean that you take back all that about me being weak?
Yeah, I admit it. I made light of your human power.
That's wrong. This is the strength of a man who's experienced love.
How can you say stuff like that with a straight face? Come, goats! Crush this man and turn him into meatballs! Nah, these goats are stupid, but it looks like they at least have power. I'll turn you into a corpse that even your fiancé will be able to recognize.
You refuse to surrender and intend to continue fighting. Understood. Know that from now on you will receive real harm proportional to your own attacks. If you still plan on attacking me, prepare to sustain a great deal of damage.
What? When George proclaimed that, a faint red magic circle rose up around him. It seemed that George couldn't see it. However, the Gap, being a demon, could.
Magic? Why does this guy have a defensive barrier? And that's also a counter-attacking type? Who taught him how to use Tetrakarn? Is this what you meant by a deterrent?
From a demon's perspective, that may have been magic. But in George's eyes, it was determination.
It fills you with determination.
Yeah, yeah. It was a determination filled with certainty, which would be merciless to anyone who wished to fight anyone. Certainty, huh? That's an interesting choice of words.
Yeah.
And which would force them to prepare for a significant counterattack. Determination with certainty becomes magic. Oh, we're back to me now. Okay. I admit this is probably not the best scenario to find me in. Ronove...
Record scratch. You're probably wondering how I found myself in this situation.
Yeah, that's me. Ronove had been accurately blocking Jessica's fist with his shield, but something felt odd. Even though he was certainly catching them on the shield, he felt his arm get jarred and hurt. Also, what's going to happen then when Jessica and George collide? It should have prevented all physical damage. However, the damage from her fist was gradually being transmitted to his arm and piling up. Ronove tried to act like he was composed so that this wouldn't be noticed.
I'm not gonna get worn out. What's wrong, old guy? Starting to get a little tough?
No matter how much you attack, it is useless. Why can't you understand that you cannot break my shield?
I'm not gonna stop hitting you just because it won't break. No matter how hard someone's heart is, if you keep on talking to them little by little, it'll eventually start to crack. I believe it. I believe that useless effort doesn't exist in this world. That's why I can live to the fullest. If words will eventually make it through, then the same goes for fists. Give up isn't written anywhere in my dictionary.
I get what you mean, but that dictionary would be hopelessly incomplete. Just, you know that, right? You do understand that, right? Right?
I don't follow.
Those words were probably aimed at Cannon. Cannon, who had seemed to reject Jessica's words. But Jessica knew that no matter how stubborn his heart was, those words would eventually soak in. She believed that they would surely reach his heart, that the day would come when he would stop calling himself furniture and disparaging himself, and that he'd step out into a new life. So Jessica didn't give up. She didn't lose heart.
It's stupid, right? I'll bet a guy couldn't understand, right? A girl in love doesn't even think about giving up just because it's useless.
At that time, Ronove certainly saw. He saw the reddish glow of light that encircled Jessica's fists. This is not good. An enchantment, is it? This permeating upgrade will be troublesome. Inside her unrelenting fists and determination dwelled the power to succeed no matter what. From a demon's perspective, that was magic. Determination with certainty becomes magic. Again, certainty.
See? Nothing useless about it. Looks like my fists are making it through. Guard your arm, old guy.
It seems I will have to get a little more serious. Appears as it is as you said, in this world nothing is useless.
That's right. If you give up because something's useless, that's when your life ends. You'll get through. You can be sure of that.
I'm an idiot, so this is the only way I can live. But even so, I'm sure I'll be able to teach Cannon-kun about a new world someday. So I'm not going to lose heart in a place like this. I'll definitely defeat you. And save everyone. Damn! Damn, when did my daughter get so badass? Anyway, gotta somehow open a hole. Kraus was repeating his useless effort to somehow open a hole between the metal bars. Useless. Nothing is useless. There's nothing.
Is everyone in the family gonna get magic?
Holy shit. The lookout goats had been swallowed up by those black pitfalls and disappeared. Now was their once-in-a-lifetime chance. This was their only chance to break the bars. It's impossible, Crafton. There's nothing we can do with our bar hand. Let's look for a tool. Don't waste time on the impossible. If you give up because it's useless, then it's all over. That's what my daughter said. Even if my body won't fit, as long as a small person like Shannon or Cannon can make it through.
Now that we've reached this point, action is more important than racking our brains. Let's work together. I'll do it too. Ken-kun, you're a boy, aren't you? Lend a hand. Ken-kun? Did Cannon decide to finally stand up and fight? Kurosama, please stand back. What? What are you playing? Okay, Nei-san? Just one more time. Let's try struggling.
Yes. I too will struggle one more time. No, not just one more time. Over and over again, possibly 5 more times? Once for this chapter, and 1 more time each in the following 4.
We talked about that. You shouldn't let people know you had an advanced copy of the script.
Oh, fuck.
Jessica's voice had reached Cannon. It certainly had permeated into his cold, rock-like heart. And George's voice had reached Shannon. If the love he had shown was embodied by strength, she would have to respond in the same way. An incredible metal sound rang out. In the first flash, several metal bars were severed horizontally, and in the next flash they were severed horizontally again, causing many metal bars to clatter to the ground like bamboo shoots cut by a sword. Kraus, Kirie, and Nanjo didn't even have a clue what just happened. Dr. Nanjo, which way down the corridor goes to the mansion?
Oh, of course. In and to the left. In and to the left.
Let's go, Kraus-sama. Virgilia-sama will notice us at any moment now.
What in the world are you guys? We are...
When Cannon hung his head a little and faltered, Shannon slapped his shoulder, smiled, and spoke.
We're human.
Oh, like Detroit.
This is not how I expected this chapter. This is so great!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Virgilia-sama. Response from the lookout web. It's a jailbreak. The Goat Guards aren't there for some reason. What? Why? It's the gap, isn't it? Taking someone else's summonings without asking. Gap. Gap, gap. Confirming battle regulations. Requesting permission to fire at the escapees. Do it. Kill them. Kill. Gap, 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 yeah. Understood. 45, 410, prepare for sniping pursuit combat. Ammo type, guided cluster rounds. Virgilia-sama, an escape prevention barrier, if you would. Ow. Yes, you're right. I won't let you escape from here. Ow. Bit my tongue saying gap, gap.
What the fuck?
The boing sound was...
Yeah! What? The underground passage in front of them was once again blocked by metal bars. The door was, of course, locked. However, that was no problem for them now.
Cannon, it's those metal bars again. We're counting on you.
Yes, Kraus-sama. I'll bring out my welding tool. Still, that's incredible. I wonder what kind of principle it works on. Is that what they call a D-sword?
I'm not interested in principles. All that matters is that he can sever the metal bars, and that we can escape from here. Don't worry, Cannon, do it.
Leave it to me.
Cannon sliced the metal bars again with his red curved blade, but there was a harsh, strange noise, and the metal bars only had a slight scratch.
These are starter.
Wrong. They're enchanted. It's one of Virgilia-sama's magic locks.
Can you cut through it?
Of course, but it will take time.
We'll wait 3 minutes.
You have no idea.
Okay, fine. After taking a deep breath and concentrating his mind, Cannon extended a curved sword again. When he pressed it hard against the metal bars, sparks sprayed almost as though he was melting through it with a burner.
It looks like we'll be able to cut it, but it'll be tough.
Kraus-sama, you've been targeted by the enemy. Please move back.
Huh? Pursuers? There's no one coming.
Please get behind me. They're aiming for you. 45. Data receipt. Target lock acquired. Commencing terrain calculation error correction. Or whatever. Formulating firing curves. Supplemental control point calculations complete or something.
Do you think they ever just give up partway through like, fuck it, lock on?
Fuck it, lock and load. Data link to 410. 410, data received. Checking hazard zone, no problems. 00, loading 48 sub-rounds. Individual homing F and F. Guided cluster rounds, preparations complete. 45, firing preparations concluded. Loading guided cluster rounds.
What about me? Are you gonna protect my truth running?
410, firing.
A golden arrow that sparkled gold was fired, leaving a gold tail streaming behind. It drew a curve, went through the door, through the keyhole, down the stairs, towards the underground path at full speed.
Something's wrong!
You can't block the golden arrow with a shield. Cannon-kun, interception stance. Let's link. By our powers combined.
Gatekeeper understood. What the fuck? What is this?
Awesome is what it is.
Every time I think I understand the full source of what the fuck is going on with these two, they're like,
I am fully logged on.
Gatekeeper understood. I am the keymaster. It's been a long time since I fought with you, Nason. Don't screw up.
Yeah. I'll be serious.
Then there's no problem. Cannon stopped cutting the bars and stood in front of Shannon. Behind him, Shannon closed her eyes, concentrating her mind deep, deep into the darkness of the underground path. A guided cluster round is a special kind of arrow made up of 48 sub-rounds bound together. It explodes mid-flight and divides into 48 mini-arrows. The strength of each individual one is low, but they pierce through all shields and possess a perfect wounding and killing power against personnel. And on top of that, each one of the 48 possesses autonomous guidance towards their individual targets. It's shown. It divided.
Confirming guided cluster round division. 46, 7, 8, 48 sub-rounds, all rounds locked onto. Interception control, data link to cannon.
Is this what they have to do in order to fight together? Cannon, data received. You're incredible, Nason. Can actually see all 48.
Concentrate on interception prioritization. Trust your Nason.
Of course. I don't even need to open my eyes.
Commencing interception.
Gonna go through all 48 of them, huh?
Target unharmed. It was intercepted. Yeah? All 48 of them? After all, Shannon and Cannon were originally a furniture pair. They're strong when they're together. Is this gonna become a mouth ulcer or something?
Why is Virgilia so freaking incompetent
Comic relief
now?
character?
What the hell?
I don't know.
I don't know what to make of their characterizations between games. It's so... it's a lot.
Calm down. Reload. Updating ammo type. Precision light speed sniper rounds. Preparing for precision sniping. Sounds good, yeah. Impossible to intercept super high speed rounds. Impossible for a mere gatekeeper to defend against, yeah. Precision sniping, roger that. Commencing collection of precision firing use data.
What in the world was that just now?
Don't worry, I don't have a clue either. All I know is that we would have died if not for these two.
Cannon-kun, thanks. Go back to the metal bars. The next shot will probably be one we can't intercept.
How can we defend against such an attack?
We don't let them shoot. Cannon-kun, initiate spirit particle combat countermeasures.
What the fuck do even any of those words mean?
We don't know either, but we have to say them or else the magic doesn't work.
At those words, Cannon closed his eyes tightly and ground his teeth. With Shannon at the center, a pressure and impact that only non-humans could perceive struck.
Huh? Firing system error. No good, rebooting. Huh? It's spirit wave jamming. Activate spirit particle safeguards. Hurry. What are you doing? Cover your ears quickly, 45.
An unseen, unheard impact had struck the Chester sisters. Double O and 410 crouched down, covering their ears, but 45 didn't make it in time. As she stood bolt upright, her eyes rolled. I like how they get goofy sound effects for this. We've never seen that background before.
45 got damaged. Her IME's busted. Yeah, the noise is also horrible for me, yeah. 45, 410, and 00, damaged. Abandoning sniping posture. It came straight through the link. If we don't reboot...
Raising their spirit particle sensitivity for precision sniping had backfired. They had taken the full brunt of the spirit particle shockwaves Shannon had released. Okay, they are in a video game. This is just SAO.
Yeah?
I'm calling it.
Yeah?
And not only 45 who had been hit directly, but also 00 and 410 who had been linked with her were taken down.
Are you okay? I'll make you some more delicious black tea later, so get a hold of yourselves. My apologies, sir. Rebooting. Please wait several hundred seconds.
All of the Chester sisters had fallen over. They would probably get back up eventually, but it looked like they would be hard for them to return to the battle lines for a while.
So, furniture was able to repel weapons, if only for a moment. I see. A plot to entertain that child truly will be filled with unexpected turns.
That child.
That's what she calls Beato.
Right. Why did I think she was talking about Maria?
I don't know, maybe she is. Mariatrice?
Maria. I definitely. We talked about this a little bit, but I feel like Maria is at least, at a minimum, complicit somehow in what's happening on the island. But I don't know how directly. Anyway, that's not really important right now. Virgilia tore through the air with a large gesture, motioning as though opening a door.
Come, arise, goat attendants.
Arise, chicken.
It's time to work. Catch and kill the escapees. Corpses are fine, we can just revive them anyway.
She's got the gold butterfly powers going for her. A gold-colored door opened in the air, and countless giant goats with muscular bodies peeked their faces out.
Come now, hurry. There are 5 escapees, so the fastest 5 of you win. There will be a wonderful prize, so give it your all, give it your all.
Virgilia clapped her hands, urging them on. The first prize is a $20 Amazon gift card. A prize? After facing each other at those words, the goats all rushed to the door at once, trying to get out, making the exit as packed as the Tozai or the Yamanote rail lines in the morning. Each wanted to get out, so none of them could get out. Virgilia held her head in frustration. This is like... It's like Disney villain levels of cartoon incompetence.
Yeah? I wonder why that is.
Which feels...
There was a reason for it last time. There's gotta be a reason for it this time.
It's gotta be related to Maria somehow.
Does it?
It feels like that... It feels somehow like the manifestation of what her version of that kind of resistance might look like.
Huh. Maybe.
She's a young kid watching TV and seeing, like, cartoon villains getting... I don't know, that's not important. By that time, Cannon had managed to cut enough bars to make a crack that could be slipped through. Been a bit of work for Kraus, large as he was, and Nanja with his lethal waste. But even so, they all managed to make it through. But after they did, they only had a couple of seconds to be relieved. Immediately, another set of metal bars blocked the way in front of them. This certainly is... secure. I'll bet they really didn't want the people in here to escape. Cannon, sorry, but I'll have to ask you again. It may be tough, but please. There was sweat on Cannon's forehead. You could tell at a glance that cutting the metal bars, which had been made even more solid by magic, had physically exhausted him. Yes, leave it to me, Kraus-sama. Only you can do it. Please, we're counting on you. Only he could do it. Holding tightly onto those words, Cannon concentrated his mind once again and set himself to the task of cutting metal bars again.
Enemies are coming from behind. Multiple targets.
Yeah, this time even we can tell. The ground's really shaking. I can tell that some ridiculous monsters are rushing at us.
Don't worry. I'll use a magic lock to make a blockade of the metal bars we just came through.
I'm gonna pretend any of that made sense.
You don't need to do that for my sake. It makes no sense.
Okay.
Anyway, mere goats won't be able to break it.
Oh, sorry. Shannon held her hand out towards the metal bars they had gone through. But she stopped right away.
Virgilia-sama has started neutralizing the spirit wave jamming. It'll be bad if it's broken, and we'll lose the initiative once the Chester sisters are rebooted.
See, they keep talking about stuff like rebooting and stuff that is definitely anachronistic for the 80s.
Yeah?
I maintain it's still SAO. Virgilia is Kirito Sword Art Online.
I'll make you pay in full for bullying these cute bunnies.
God, she just sounds so much like Maria right now. Like, I can't get it out of my head. It's...
If you're trying to gain the advantage with those clever spirit particles of yours, I'll tear all that away and rob you of them.
Nason, concentrate on the spirit wave jamming. The gap in those metal bars is too narrow for those goats. It should hold them back for a while.
I don't have a clue what you're saying, but...
We know it's something pretty bad. Kiria picked up a metal bar that Cannon had just cut. Kraus had no weapon, but he rubbed his fists. The two of them glared into the depths of the underground passage where the shaking was coming from.
I believe this is the final metal bar walking to work. How far is it to the mansion from here? Walk to walk. Path is over, but I seem to remember walking for 30 minutes.
Jesus Christ! That's a long tunnel. That's a long
Is it a
fucking
tunnel,
tunnel.
or did they mean from the mansion itself, so they'd get outside and then walk?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's unclear. Yeah, I don't think he's saying that there's a tunnel connecting the two, but...
Okay.
So if we run all out, it'll be half that time. They couldn't tell for sure since they didn't have the three-sided mirror, but there's no guarantee that George and Jessica would still be alright against the demon opponents after all this time. Who is the third person in the mirror? Is it Battler? I think it's Battler. It's gotta be Battler.
Nobody's in the mirror yet.
They make a point of saying it's three-sided, and they're only telling us the two people reflected in it.
They also made a point of saying that the other two's tests hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, but... okay, so then maybe it doesn't have to be them, but why would they make a point of saying it's three-sided? It's three-sided. Conservation of detail. If we run at twice the speed of walking, it'll be 15 minutes. And twice that speed would make it 8 minutes.
And if we sprint all out, it doubles that speed. It won't even take 5. No problem. That's a reasonable calculation. That's how you calculate on a file.
My sincere apologies, everyone. Please watch my back.
Haha, leave it to us. Cannon, you cut the bonds as fast as you can. Shannon, you concentrate on jamming the switch called Virgilia or whatever. I don't really understand. Kirie-san and I will defend against our pursuers.
Then the roars of the beasts rang out from the darkness, and several fiery, glowing, bright red eyes appeared. Goats that were several levels more massive than the guards were rushing with an incredible force. The tremors they created were almost like an earthquake. They brought a frightening intensity and terror, but Kirie actually laughed with relief. Those massive bodies wouldn't be able to go through the crack in the bars. The group of goats crashed into the metal bars with a fierce sound like that of a train colliding with a dead end. Clumps of dirt fell here and there from the ceiling, and you could tell that the metal bars had bent as if collapsing. Their charging power probably was on par with a train. If the metal bars hadn't been there, they probably would likely have overwhelmed the 5 of them and crushed them in an instant. When the group of goats pressing up against the metal bars noticed the 5 people right in front of them, they let out a terrible howl trying to intimidate the 5. Or maybe that was out of pain from their game of push and shove. One calm goat among them figured out what should be done about the metal bars, then grabbed 2 of them with his massive arms and began bending them as though opening double doors. Kirie sharply jabbed her metal pole at the goat's vitals. The goat let out a roar of anguish. Probably hurt a lot, but that was all. Wasn't enough to bring it down. Krasan.
No.
Oh my god, Krause's battle cry. It's terrifying.
Still holding the metal pole that she stuck out, Kirie relinquished the opposite tip to Kraus. Kraus ran there with all his might, jumped up, and kicked down with all of his weight, kicking power combined. All of that destructive power was focused on a single pole, drilling it in.
My nuts. Are you okay? Please don't rub the affected area. I'll prescribe some medicine later. Take care.
As the goat who had taken to a pile bunker to its vitals withered its teary eyes, it nodded its head.
Why is it a comedy? Why is it an action
Why is
comedy?
Najo shit talking? It's great shit talk, but like still, what the fuck? Looks like our link isn't that bad either. We won't lose to Shannon-kun and Chan and Cannon-kun.
Naturally, for a loving family like us.
That doesn't fit at all. This obviously can't be happening.
Yeah, okay. Like, there is definitely something... Yeah, that doesn't fit.
Loving family.
We can do it if we take them together. Next, that one on the right. Oh, understood. You really are a good wife. Bet that Rudolph must have grumbled a little bit too much. Also, you sounded like me just there. Of all the times for the curse.
Oh, tell me about it later. Rudolph's son suddenly turning pale in heaven won't do you any good, okay? The goat's massive bodies were buried in the rose bushes. Even taking into account that leg's powers 3 times that of an arm's, this strength surpassed common sense. To think that those massive bodies had been kicked into the chin and had flown through the air, it was too fierce. Even George seemed a little surprised.
To think that my kick works on monsters, too. Now there's a shock.
Because of your counterattack style barrier. Attacking power that grazes you is added onto your own. It's like, you ever play Toho? Grazing increases your power.
That hasn't come out yet.
No, you'll get it. It could have been supplemented by those monsters' superhuman strength.
Oh? I don't really get it. But isn't that just perfect for me? No matter who attacks me, they should be prepared for a counterattack of equal measure. Non-aggressive defense, that's my policy. Like Switzerland, that's my middle name. George Switzerland Ushiromiya.
I don't think that's what it is. I don't believe you.
That's why the Gap couldn't easily touch him. The counterattack style barrier had no defensive power. However, because of its countering ability, it could be useful in defense by making the opponent hesitate to attack. The goats had been foolish and had attacked without worrying, but this second effect had worked in full against the Gap.
These guys really are dull. When your power's even, it's always an advantage to have a smaller build.
He lightly dodged the log-like arms. When those arms touched the barrier that protected George, they let off a strong red light. The tip of the counterattacking foot would then again gain the same sparkle, and the superhuman power of the goat added to its own. The second goat fell forward and floated in the air for a second. Then George's next roundhouse kick missed right over the falling goat's head. For an instant, the goat hoped it might get away with its life. But no! A heel was dropped onto the back of its head and was forced to kiss the ground.
Going from a high roundhouse kick into a neri chagi is pretty basic, right? Works pretty well every now and then.
This guy's a problem. Seriously, a problem!
That's my other middle name. George Switzerland Problem Ushiromiya.
Stop adding middle names!
I will not. That's how my counterattack barrier works. Every time I am attacked, I gain an additional middle name.
That's like $60 at the courthouse every time you want to do that.
What do you mean, demons? What do you mean, witches? The rulers of Rokkenjima are the Ushiromiya family. I'll make you physically aware of that.
Ew!
The only way to finish off George, now that his body was wrapped up in a counterattack-style barrier, was to deny him a chance to counterattack. Nothing to do but suck him into the abyss next, then kick and drop him, kick and drop him, kick and drop him, until she kicked him to death. But George had already completely seen through the faint warning signs that told of the appearance of Gap's pitfalls. The Gap's pitfall. Fuck! I fucked it up!
Achoo!
If he could jump over that next pitfall, then this time he would probably pulverize the Gap's head with his whirlwind-like kick without holding back in the slightest, just as had been done to his parents. His parents were kicked to death?
It didn't say that.
Oh, pulverizing the head.
Yeah.
Okay. She was able to envision that scene vividly. The Gap hated Kinzo more than ever for calling her out to this ridiculous island. Even though Ronove had held out a shield, he had finally started using his hands. Without a more powerful shield, he wouldn't be able to block Jessica's fists anymore. The enchantment on Jessica's fists grew the more she fought. Oh, she has a snowball mechanic.
Yeah.
That's cool. The permeating upgrade had already grown several times, and those fists had also been given an impact upgrade, a piercing upgrade, and a speed upgrade, making them fists worthy to fight on par with a demon.
What's wrong? Starting to get tired? You're getting all slow.
No. Your movements and thoughts and kinetic vision have been rapidly enchanted. My movements have not changed from the beginning. Your movements are beginning to catch up to me.
And you still won't fight back?
This is my style. However, I cannot allow it to continue at this rate. It's about time for me to get serious and end this. Ronove's face turned into expression he hadn't shown before. It was full of respect for Jessica in a truly demonic way. Because it was an expression he only showed for enemies who made him get serious.
Show us the expression, please.
Show us the expression, please. Show us the expression, please. That's the same expression.
Whoa! What the?
With a gesture of his whole body that you couldn't call elegant, Ronove held out a shield with all his strength, a shield the size and thickness of a wall. It was more tenacious than a simple shield. It literally was a wall. And on top of that, with all of Ronove's magical power, it pushed Jessica back bit by bit. Did he plan on pushing her back against the wall and crushing her to death? Jessica tried to break through the wall with both fists, but it was solid. Without any exaggeration, it was solid.
Is this what you call serious? No problem. I'll break right through it.
I will not let you this time. This wall is somewhat different. Here, allow me to enchant it as well. When Ronove made a magic sign almost like a ninja, the wall glowed red for just an instant, and some kind of ominous power dwelt within it. Jessica was able to recognize that almost immediately with her body. Every time her fists hit the wall, the pain as though glass fragments had scattered and hit all over her body rebounded against her. I upgraded it with the attack reactive armor. An exceptional item that will decrease the force of your attacks by counterbalancing them, and which can even counterattack with reactive fragments. It is perfectly fine to keep punching it, but doing so will damage you as well.
In short, it's an endurance test between me and your wall? No problem.
Will you fall to your knees first, or be pushed into the wall first? Allow me to observe.
Except I might break through it and smash that whole wall along with your face, right? Watch it!
Without hesitation, Jessica punched using both fists. Each time she did, a large amount of shards scattered, torturing her entire body. Instantly, several red gashes appeared all over her. She grimaced at the intense agony, but her eyes were burning with fighting spirit, and her lips curved in a grin that stood in sharp contrast to the pain.
Please tell me she gets the brass knuckles and golden Fantasia.
I'm sure she does. I'm sure that their fighting styles are, and George will be kicking everyone. Yeah.
Cannon, are you done yet? We're fine, but the metal bars blocking them don't seem to be.
Just a little more. There's no stopping these guys. These metal bars might break just from them shoving each other.
The group of goats had made the metal bars creak. Several arms grabbed behind the bars, twisting them with superhuman strength. However, some bars were being pulled in opposite directions by different hands. Apparently, they really were stupid. The way those countless hands grabbed the metal bars sometimes happened to match up by chance. Several hands grasping two metal bars neatly put their power together and pulled the bars to the left and right. Then the incredible sound of metal bending could be heard, and that crack was getting larger bit by bit. They attacked the arms of those goats one by one, but they weren't getting anywhere. They couldn't stop the gap from spreading left and right. At that time, there was a loud metal sound behind them. Cannon had finally finished cutting.
Quickly.
Kiryu-san, ladies first. You go next, Dr. Nanjo.
Kurasama, please leave this place to me. Is this?
Cannon's red sword that had cut the metal bars disappeared.
Sorry, we've entered Virgilia-sama's spirit particle area of influence. Our magic power has been neutralized. How dare you resist me this far? I, who was called a great witch. You can no longer use your magic in that underground passage.
A magic circle column drew a complex magical formula with Virgilia at the center. With such genuine magic being used, Shannon's power couldn't even compare. On the contrary, it was surprising that she had withstood as long as she had.
Spirit particle supremacy ensured. Come, Chester sisters, it's your turn now, right? Wait, are you still rebooting? Why are kids these days so bad at waking up?
Kids these days?
Kids these days.
Oh my god.
My apologies. We're all different versions. Why do the shortcuts and pull-down menus get all screwed up every time you change versions, Nya? You did not shut down correctly last time? Administrator privileges? What's going on? I don't know.
Someone's gonna get BSOD'd, but actually BSOD'd.
Okyu. Fix me quickly. call the Imperial Guard's troubleshooting team.
Why? Why the fuck are they going so hard on them being computers?
We need to be reimaged. Quickly, bring a floppy drive. We need to reinstall DOS.
The only floppy drive are your ears. Old floppy.
What? You can't help us without a user code. 45 had the user code, yeah. Q. It just sounds like 9999 in Japanese.
Oh yeah, because
to
Q
me.
is 9.
Have her write it on some paper. She can't reinstall her IME, so she can't write characters, yeah.
Virgilia's face at that display is just like, I am surrounded by incompetence.
You take your time fixing yourselves. I'm going. Sorry.
The narrow underground passage was packed with goats, truly like a commuter train in the morning. Virgilia was again shocked by this congestion.
What are you doing? Huh? You want to go first because you want the prize. You're getting in each other's way because you don't want the other goats to steal the prize from you. You stupid goats! I'm going, so make way. What? You don't want to. Virgilia-sama is trying to steal your prize. Why are you all standing arm in arm? Oh fuck, my goats are unionizing. Tight, cramped. When did this become a goats-only car? You, that kid who just touched my butt, get off at the next station.
Why is she talking like... Okay.
What's with you? Come this way, you say.
The 5 in Krause's group dashed through the passageway with all their strength. They couldn't dawdle around in an underground place like this. They had to quickly join up with the children on the surface. If they could meet up, there would no longer be any more sorrow. At that time, a terrible rumble started chasing them. Had their pursuers finally made it through the metal bars? But they couldn't see anyone when they turned around. However, that rumble in the dirt that fell here and there from the ceiling grew closer and closer, finally catching up with them and even going past them. It almost felt like being chased. Are they actually in like a train station? It almost felt like being chased by ghosts. For a second, they thought they'd gotten away, until the ceiling in front of them fell in and a single goat stood in their path. Virgilia was sitting on its shoulder. Sitting on its shoulder!
Not to scale.
Okay.
This wise child knew a shortcut.
You missed an opportunity to call it a wise kid. I'm just saying, it's right there.
What a good kid.
Oh, okay, there we go. There it is.
First prize.
Does not disappoint.
Later, you can have some handmade mackerel curry.
Just like, Kumasawa.
Yeah? Yeah?
I still don't know in what way they are related, but it's clear that there is some we knew that already, but
Yeah.
it's even more clear now. Maybe it really was happy about that dubious prize, and the fact that Jessica mistook Ronove for Genji.
Yeah.
So clearly, is it some kind of like hypnosis thing?
Maybe.
The massive goat showed its joy by putting its hands together and writhing. Virgilia leapt down, laughing at that this time it was finally checkmate. Damn it, it's no use. Our magic has been completely killed.
Not yet. Even without magic, we still have these bodies.
Kraus, punch! There's no way you can fight a monster like that with that strange power. Stay back, children. I'm gonna do something about this, so escape past the sides of that monster while I distract them. Oh, sure, run me a punch!
He better do it. He better do it.
I won't let you.
When Virgilia clapped her hands, a purple magic circle wall appeared behind her. Clap your hands if you believe. Sealing even the faint hope that Kraus had been betting on.
Nah, is there nothing more to be done? No, not yet. Even Jessica thought I must do so as well.
Are you serious? It's not possible, not against that massive monster.
Don't be absurd. Gosh, let us think of another word. If you think of something, then say it. Until then, it looks like I'll have to manage something. Come on, get back.
Take care.
I'm not helping. Take care.
Well, the fuck off with you, I guess.
My, Kraus. You intend to fight this child alone.
Wait, if the summons are somehow matched up with the people on the island, who's the gap?
Yeah, it's unclear. I've been spinning my wheels on that one.
I got it.
Yeah?
I figured it out.
Yeah?
It's Goda. It's absolutely Goda.
Huh.
Nah.
I'm just gonna leave that there, and then I'll let you think on it.
Nah, you never know. In a fight, it's always possible to get in a lucky shot.
You think you can win, even with a fluke? Allow me to explain, so that even one who's so blissfully unaware of his place can understand.
What?
If you were to wield 100% of your strength, your power level is at most 6.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's level 6 right there.
In comparison, this child has a power level of 1,000.
Oh, that is...
In short, even if there were 1,000 of you, you definitely
No, if
couldn't
there were
win.
1,000 of me, I could win.
Sorry, 100. I have trouble with the power math.
Oh, that's alright.
Yeah, 1,000 would probably do it.
Yeah. Can we arrange that?
Maybe next time.
Oh, okay.
Which would you rather fight? One goat-sized Kraus or 100 Kraus-sized goats?
Who would win? All the demons of hell, or all the 1 billion goats, or the one of every Usharomia? There it is. There it is. Well, it's true that there are uncertain elements in a fight. Let us admit that your power level has a slight scaling factor to it. But even so, your chances of defeating this child are perhaps...
Why is there a 2? There's a 2. Where did that 2 come from?
Where did that 2 come from? 0.0001%. Do you understand? You don't even have a 1 in 10,000 chance of victory.
Am I talking, or is this an internal monologue?
There's no quote mark, so I'm assuming it.
There's a 3?
And now it's a you can hear it moving up every time.
There were quote marks.
Oh, there were. I'm sorry.
Man,
But
the
only at
curse.
the end.
You
Oh,
too,
fine.
huh?
Yeah.
Virgilia and the goat guffawed together.
Why is there a 3? Why is there a 3? Why is there a 3?
It's gone.
Damn it. If I got a 1 in 10,000 chance, it means the payoff will be 10,000 times greater, right? A splendid dark horse. Seeing a ticket like that makes me want to buy it right away. This also might explain why I can't hold on to money for very long.
But the coin to buy it is your life, and you've only one of those, yes? However, I could understand why you'd still want to entrust that miracle to fate. Therefore, I shall praise your courage for standing against us without fear, and give you a bit of a handicap.
We got 4 now.
This child will fight with only his left arm. Also, I'm summoning numbers, just to unnerve you.
Nah, not math.
Well, even so, I have absolutely no intention of losing to you. Come to think of it, what's that bing bong noise I keep hearing?
Wait, that's in what?
Very well. I'll take that challenge. Whether it uses left arm or not, I'm sure it'd be cured with a single strike. I also only have a single chance at strike. I can only bet everything on that. Crouch. Punt. It's gonna happen. I used to do boxing, but that was as far back as your college shirt.
Oh my god, he's a former boxer?
No, even if you're a pro boxer, there's no way you can defeat a monster like that with one strike.
Apparently. That would be true if it were a match in the ring. But while Kraus and Isan's chance to bet on this hope is faint, it does exist. He's betting everything on that hope. You aren't saying, but there's no way that would work out.
Kraus-sama.
Watch me, I'll settle this with a single strike.
How shallow. I know what you're after. The distance between the two of them is more than... Am I talking? It's unclear.
I think you're talking, yeah.
If the goat and Kraus both step in with all their strength to settle the fight with a single blow, their power will be double what is normal. Both will crash together, so it's a relative 4 times normal. Even if on top of that, the strike lands on a weak point for a critical hit, that will only double the power again.
Why are they talking like they're in a fucking video game? Like, they were hinting at it. Okay, you know what? I said it as a joke last time, but I'm bringing it back. SAO theory.
Okay.
SAO theory.
Okay, so here's my theory. Here's my theory.
Yep.
They're in Golden Fantasia. Golden Fantasia is the canon.
Oh man, that's really cool. I like that.
In short, Krause's maximum power level of 6 times 8 would be 48 at the most. He might or might not be able to win if he repeated that lucky shot a full 20 times. If you're killed every time you take a hit and your damage still accumulates. Let's see. Perhaps you might finally win when we get to episode 24, yes?
What the shit?
I'm so upset. I'm simultaneously upset and overjoyed. This is great.
This is...
If only this series could stretch on so long. Either way, you don't even have a slight chance. What is that fucking sound?
Is it only going to go up
Chance
to
of
8? Because that's how many... Are they skipping ahead to Umineko Part 8?
Hey, seriously, what is that fucking sound? What?
Nah! Let me bet everything on a single strike! You have no reason to hold back either, Goat-kun. Come at me seriously. Why is he calling Kun?
Yeah, I don't know.
That implies he's very familiar with them, right?
Does it?
Isn't Kun a term of endearment?
I don't think that would be an accurate assessment
Okay.
of the...
Someone correct me.
I don't think that's what it would imply.
Come at me! Not endearment, but familiarity.
I would...
Maybe, okay.
Yeah,
No, we'll look it up later.
He's requesting that you go all out. Smash him with a single serious strike, and turn him into chunks of meat.
As the goat got excited and beat its chest over and over, it took a position as though preparing for a sprint.
Is this what you wanted? Is this what you had in mind?
Ah!
Bet your hopes
I know that
on
song.
the greatest limits of your power level, and despair when even that gets you nowhere. It rang again.
Kraus is leveling up.
What the heck? It's really starting to get on my nerves.
Here I go! Ready? The goat howled in response. Then with a matched timing that only the men confronting each other could comprehend, the two leapt forward like bullets shot out of a gun. The men howled, collecting the strength from all over their bodies into one arm each. The goat's fiery, glowing red eyes clearly locked onto Kraus's face. He could perfectly see a vision of when he would step forwards, when he would punch through Kraus and blow him away, and when he would win perfectly. 9. The long, painful days up to that point drifted through the goat's mind. Painful days of training when his senpais had picked on him. What? Those faint glimpses of the warm concern his senpais felt for him. And the joy of the day his power had been acknowledged, when he had been accepted as one of the comrades. The fuck is this? Wait,
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay,
Did I see a Maria?
that was Maria. I didn't see, it was too fast.
Oh, fuck.
I
have to
think
rewatch
that was
that in
Maria
the
and
episode.
Angie. I think it was Maria and Angie with the goat there.
Huh.
Anyway, I never showed proper respect to my parents. That's right, didn't I plan to wash my hands of this business when this job was over and return to my hometown? I'm sorry, little goat sister. Your Oni-chan always caused you so much trouble. And I actually have a childhood friend. And I'm gonna marry her when I get home!
Yeah. No. Stop tripping all these loser flags.
Oh, that's
You can't handle that punch. Dodge it.
It happened the instant before the two crashed and their punches crossed. You fool, Vigilia. Looks like you failed to make a calm and rational decision.
You mustn't take that punch. Knock it aside.
Oh, Sir Romeo! The very instant the goat's left straight and Kraus's right straight crossed, the goat obeyed Virgilia's order with super fast reflexes and pulled his straight back, repelling Kraus's punch. Oh, come on now. You couldn't give me that one? That's right, Virgilia's decision probably had been wise. After all, the number of loser flags amplifies the power of one level of one's...
Oh my god!
Are you fucking kidding me with this? Nah!
That was close. If you had taken that punch after tripping so many loser flags, imagine just how great a force it would have been amplified to. Come on, from there. Smash the completely open right side of his face with a right straight.
Wait, he can't fight with his right arm.
What? That promise about fighting with only your left arm? Aren't promises made to be broken?
Shit!
Yeah, tripped another one.
Why is this chapter like this?
It's awesome. I am so logged on.
I'm disappointed, Virgilia. You really have lost your composure.
What's that? How was I not composed by noticing it beforehand and making him avoid it?
Oh no, is she an Otome game villain?
Why is that, Kyrie-sama? If they had crashed like that, wouldn't it have been Krause's?
I see. Even with those 20 loser flags, that's just not enough.
Kraus is in the Goat's double rush made for ×4. With a miracle as an ally, the firm promise of a critical hit doubled again for ×8. On top of that, there was an amplification of ×20 equal to the number of loser flags, making for ×160. At a glance, that was an incredible amplification, but even so, Kraus's power level was still 6. Even multiplied by 160, it only made for a power level of 960. Just barely below the Goat's 1000. Okay. Okay,
Yeah?
I need a moment.
Yeah?
That's why I said you weren't composed. It's your blunder. If they had crashed like that, you would have won.
Even if that were so, it all comes to the same thing if this right straight smashes Krause's head. Die, Ushiromiya Krause.
Take this! The strongest strike in the boxing world! After repelling Krause's right straight, the Goat's right straight attacked the right side of Krause's face, which had been left open. But there it crossed Krause's left straight. Ushiromiya! Punch! The two punches crossed, and time stopped as each aimed for the face of the other.
To think that it would be timed for a simultaneous strike. But his power level stops at ×160, making it 960. It doesn't reach up to my child's 1000.
No, but there are some. It's all off.
Why?
You made him repel the first cross counter. Certainly if another right straight after that were the kid's cross, hits cross on probably would be in prison. However that was crossed. That's no good. Sorry, but this is a complete loss to you or just go. A cross counter has 4 times the destructive power. See, okay, now we're just apparently operating under MMO rules now.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is common knowledge in the boxing world.
Common knowledge in the boxing
I'm
world.
pressing X to doubt as hard as I can right now.
Sound off if this is common knowledge in the boxing world.
And if it's blocked and the right straight hits, then it's a double cross counter with 8 times the destructive power. This is also common knowledge in the boxing.
My
I love
god,
that.
this is so fucking
This
good.
is so mathy for a fight scene. I love it. And if that is crossed, then by the principle of leverage, the triple cross would multiply the destructive power by
Yeah?
I need a moment.
Say the line.
By 12.
Yeah!
Really? It wouldn't go from 4 to 8 to 16? It just adds on? Okay. Weird. This is also painfully common knowledge in the boxing world. Duh. It's even written in a Min Meishobu book. I don't know what that is.
Kraus-san's power level is at 6. The rushing from both sides is ×4.
The critical hit is ×8.
Times 160 for tripping too many loser frogs. And times 12 again with a cripple cross counter.
Times 1920.
I love the silly math fights. This is great. His power. Say it.
His
Say
power
it.
level is
Say it.
11,520. It's over 9,000.
Yes. Krause's punch now had the power to easily win the first Tenkaichi Budokai. The result was brought about by Krause's persistence in not giving up on victory until the very end. I enjoy pride, and also all those loser flags you dropped. Without Arthur, this strength would not exist. You fought well. You may now fall. Nanjo clapped the goat on the shoulder. Why is Nanjo suddenly strutting around like he fucking...
Everyone is shonen protagonist now.
I've got so many questions.
Oh, this slaps.
Your Nachon, give it his all. As the sparkling drops from the goat's eyes scattered, he bent backwards and fell on Virgilia.
Heavy, get off me.
The goat's massive body was too heavy for the slender Virgilia. She wriggled around with it on top of her, but it didn't look like she'd be able to escape. In that instant, the bear... Oh, I didn't click through that one. The barrier...
That Virgilia had sealed broke.
The barrier that Virgilia had sealed broke? Okay. There it is, yep. Don't take it personally, kid. It was the principle of leverage that led to your defeat. And also math. Remember, stay in school, kids. Krause says it's cool.
The best way to win fights is multiplication.
I wonder how the principle of leverage applied to that counter. It's an eternal mystery. But let's escape while we can. You take care too, Gochon.
Well then, excuse us, Virgilia-sama.
Bow. Did you literally say the word?
This is so great.
I'm dying over here.
I can't believe how good.
It's literally okay. You
Wait up. Get this off me. Gap.
After that, there was nothing to do but nothing to block their way. They ran intently through the underground passage. Jessica had finally been cornered, with the wall at her back. Ronove advanced with his magic circle wall, bit by bit, and would probably crush her against the other wall eventually. Considering the distance, she threw out her fists. This would be her final strike. Jessica had dealt out many punches so far. The wall wasn't invincible. It had already started to crack, and it wouldn't be strange for it to smash at any moment. However, due to the rebounding damage, Jessica also had cuts all over her body and was worn out. Please, put a stop to this. I don't intend to crush you. It is up to the master to decide how to deal with you. However, I also intend to congratulate you specially for your good fight.
Quit fucking around. Not yet. It isn't over yet.
You have wounds all over your body. It is all you can manage just to stand, is it not? It seems you plan on putting all your strength into this final strike. However, that final strike will be fatal for you. The damage reflected by Ronove's magic circle wall was proportional to the strength of the attack. Jessica's all-out punch would be bounced back onto her. The more all-out she went, the more suicidal it would be for Jessica. Well, she did say to take her, right?
Yeah? I get it. I know that.
I am warning you. Stop this now. This is for your own good.
Stop bluffing. Your wall is already about to break, right? I can tell by the feel of it after punching it so much, okay?
That was a fact. Ronove's wall was already on the verge of breaking. And on top of that, Jessica's fists had been imbued with an unimaginable magical attack power by now, and their destructive strength defied imagination. In the worst case, that destructive power might even pierce the defensive wall, smash Ronove as well, and create an expansion connecting this room to the next. However, that damage would rebound on Jessica as well. She wouldn't escape unharmed. I will say it just one more time. Stop. I say this out of consideration for you.
Shut the fuck up. Prepare yourself.
Jessica howled. Putting all the strength of her greatest and final destructive power into her fist, she roared. The three goats had been beaten down long ago. Without straining to breathe in the slightest, George cautiously closed the distance between him and the gap. He was after her. He was planning on bringing her down with a single strike. The gap was also aiming for a single strike. If she let that chance slide, she would be killed this time.
Aren't you gonna use your pitfalls?
Nah. Even the tiny opening during the time it took to open the hole would prove fatal with George as an opponent right now. The gap cautiously calculated the distance and timing, But even as she did, George closed the gap between them.
If you won't come, I will.
Go ahead. There's no point in cheap tricks anymore. I'll settle it with this kick of mine.
For an instant, she thought George's body blurred. Then only his jacket was floating in the air. The moment she thought, darkness covered the gap. George, with his heels swung up high, was attacking from the sky like a massive dragon.
It worked. This is my victory, Urshuramiya George.
What?
The gap opened a vast pitfall with her in the center, swallowing up George along with herself. The two were swallowed up by the pitfall and spat out from the ceiling of the arbor. But that was what the gap had been after, so she alone landed lightly. However, there was another pitfall in George's landing spot.
Gotcha, Urshuramiya George. It was fun, so die. The Urshuramiya family headship would be wasted on the likes of you. So I'll finish you right here and right now.
George once again fell from the ceiling of the arbor. He had probably been dropped at the same distance as falling off the roof of a 2-story building. In the sky, he couldn't control his posture in any way. It was impossible to resist or defend or avoid. As the gap spun like a whirlwind, she concentrated all of her energy on the sharp tip of her stiletto heel. This was his final strike to perform his requiem. The final strike of the queen bee that would bore into heaven, knocking him down into the true abyss.
Welcome to the abyss, motherfucker. This is the end of the line for you.
She closed in on her prey and stuck her foot up into the sky. At that time, she saw George's face. Even though he was in midair, he was calmly adjusting his glasses with the middle finger of his right hand. Wow. Smooth moves, George! And his posture was still preserved as that of an axe kick. Without the faintest deviation, he aimed for the gap's forehead.
I had already hypothesized that this move would come up.
What?
If I jumped to make the person on the ground taste my heel, my posture would have collapsed long ago. However, my posture hasn't collapsed in the slightest. Do you know why?
You don't mean.
From the very beginning, I aimed to make a person 2 stories below taste my heel.
No!
It's your loss, miss.
Ding dong.
What? What?
Was that the loser flag? What the fuck was that face? Did you see that face?
Oh my god. Whoa, take this!
The final strongest punch that Jessica had raised reached the wall and was sucked in. It was sucked into a black large hole that had suddenly opened on the wall. Well, I did tell you to stop. Oh, that's...
This is...
Actually, I wasn't even close to being in a pinch. Sorry.
Look at that face!
Yeah?
Jessica's fist had gone for George's stomach, and George's axe kick had lined up on Jessica's head. The shocking destructive power imbued in Jessica's fist crushed George's organs and scattered his abdomen. The same destructive power in George's axe kick smashed half of Jessica's head and scattered its contents in the same manner.
Didn't I tell you about a witch's acting prowess? Hey, Beato, what do you think? Were you watching? Beato?
Not bad, just as planned. You really do get it, the gap. Woohoo!
Oh, that's bullshit! Beato and the Gap casually high-fived each other. Ugh, what the fuck did I just watch?
Thanks, Renove. Thanks for the gift. I'll return Jessica's corpse. Separate the corpses of the two who are close. Does this mean the second twilight is over?
The Gap dropped Jessica's corpse through a pitfall, and all the chunks were thrown into Jessica's room, as carelessly as throwing something into the trash. Jessica's corpse and lumps of flesh fell from the ceiling and poured out all over her room. Renove shook his head slightly at this gruesome change of scenery. My apologies, Jessica-sama. I did warn you. However, the true art of us demons, that is, foreseeing this conclusion, giving you advice I knew you wouldn't listen to, really isn't something a human could understand.
It really was fun, kid, but you play with words a bit too much. It's about time I started fighting back? Really the best you got? Are you trying to be someone from a light novel or something?
In the arbor, brutally decorated by George and Jessica's scattered blood and guts, the Gap enjoyed a loud laugh for a while. But she quickly realized that, in all seriousness, this was a little too filthy and undignified, and she snapped her fingers. As she did, a cloud of gold butterflies rose up around her, stuck to each of the bits and blood stains, and dropped them. Then George's corpse returned bit by bit, and the brutal corpse with its guts torn out was repaired into a clean corpse that looked like it was sleeping. Was this some act of sportsmanship towards a dead rival? The heavens were split, because Gap had lifted her leg high, pointing at the sky.
See you, lover boy. This is game over for real.
Splat. Without a trace of lover boy. Without a trace of mercy, that foot stepped down and was buried into George's forehead. The stiletto heel that was sharp as a weapon pierced George's forehead. With a bloop, it was pulled out. It was like a mark, proving that the Gap certainly had finished him by her own hand. This chapter has been a fucking whirlwind of emotions, let me tell you.
Yeah? Most of those emotions being, fuck yeah?
Good God. Ronove also returned Jessica's corpse to its original form. And unlike how it had been with George, he restored Jessica's life.
What in the world is this? A dream?
No, that is wrong. You certainly did pass away, Jessica-sama. You should be well aware of the memory of your final moments. Jessica's mind was burning. For some reason, she remembered being thrown somewhere and having George's heel smash her head.
Am I alive?
No, you are dead. With my magic, that will only be postponed for a scant 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, the magic will end and you will return to being a tragic corpse with half its head crushed.
What'd you say?
Death is brutal. In most cases, you aren't even given the time to ready your heart. But to praise you for fighting so bravely, I've decided to give you this time. Perhaps you should sort out your regrets from this world in those 3 minutes.
I can also decide to take you along with me during those 3 minutes.
But the power that had burned through Jessica's body until a second ago had been completely lost. Jessica was aware of that herself. She was already dead. And that is all from me. If you would excuse me. It was fun, Jessica-sama. And I do mean that. Ronove turned his form into a cloud of gold butterflies and disappeared. All that remained was the sound of the wind and rain and the figure of Jessica as she crouched down, leaning against the wall. Jessica could tell she probably really would revert to the corpse she had been after 3 minutes. Was there anything she could do in those 3 minutes? She stood up and with a shaky gait took the phone that was on the desk. Hello? Is that Jessica? Jessica? What is it? Are you okay? Wait. Did we give Meta Battler the regular voice and...
I think whichever battler has whichever voice.
Jessica,
follow your heart.
Are you
follow
okay?
Your heart.
Jessica, are you doing okay?
They got me.
Are you okay? Did you get injured? I'll come to save you right now.
No, it's already too late. I'm already dead, or so I hear. By the time you got here, Battler, I'd be a corpse with half its head split open.
Crap, that damn geezer! Wait there, I'm coming right now!
Listen to me, Battler. Listen closely, okay? Now I totally see why Goda-san and Kumasawa-san were evasive about the time the 6 in the dining hall got killed.
Yeah, it was Goda.
Those guys aren't human.
What? What are you talking about?
I saw it, so what am I supposed to do? Those guys warp and set up barriers and do whatever they want, okay? It's like some kind of manga and anime. Hell, and we seriously can't keep up. From the very beginning, fighting was useless. They really aren't opponents that you'll be able to fight with that hat stand spear you're so proud of.
A line of blood dripped down from Jessica's forehead.
George Nissan's done for too. That was an instant death. The next test is yours, Battler. I wonder if your test will go the same way as ours. Be careful and don't misunderstand.
You mean about the test?
No. Don't misunderstand and assume that your enemy's human. The enemy isn't human. They're demons that can freely wield a terrifying magic. No matter what, don't get the wrong idea about that. Be careful.
A line of blood dripped down from Jessica's mouth as well. The left half of her head started hurting. Jessica realized that she was about to return to the corpse she had been.
When 13 people die, the Golden Witch will revive. 6 were killed, including Mom. That's the first Twilight. Then George, Nissan, and I were killed for the second Twilight. So once 5 more people are killed, the ceremony will be complete, and the witch will revive. I hope Dad and the rest are safe. If they aren't, the one to test you might be the resurrected Beatrice herself.
Battler already didn't understand what Jessica was saying, but from her tone he realized that she knew she was about to die. So even though he didn't understand the situation, he urged her to give it her all.
I said I'm already dead. See ya. Looks like it's time. Good luck on your test. I hope you can become the head.
What a fucking chapter.
Yeah.
Jessica! Jessica! Hey, answer me! Jessica! Battler's sorrowful voice could be heard from the dangling receiver. As she leaned against the wall in that corner, crouched down, Jessica's head had been half smashed.
This place is...
This is a well? Where is this?
Kyrie stuck her face out of the well, then Kraus showed himself too. When he realized that they could see the back of the mansion from beyond a grove of trees, Kraus knew more or less where they were. They're coming up out of... What is this? Fucking you-know?
Ha!
To think that there, in a certain well, there had been a hidden underground passage, which led to a hidden mansion.
Interesting.
I wonder if that well has ever come up before.
It's really tough on the old barber. They usually come up from a different spot with railroad. You could just unlock it. I'll ask you to tell me about the layout of this place in detail later, Dr. Nanjo. Shannon, are you okay? Grab hold.
So Dr. Nanjo has not just been there, but been there enough to have a usual spot he would exit from.
Yeah.
That's weird. What is Nanjo's role in all this?
I
Fucked
don't
up.
know. I honestly had thought he was just kind of like a kind of got swept up in it, but obviously that was a naive assumption. Yeah, that was. I admit it. That was a naive assumption.
I'm fine. Cannon-kun, quickly.
Cannon climbed up a ladder out of the shaft that was disguised as a well. It was probably quite deep. When he looked down for the first time, he realized how far he'd come up.
Firing.
Bang. As Cannon was about to finally crawl out of the well, the hole the size of a basketball opened up in his chest. Everyone there looked through the hole in Cannon's chest to the scenery beyond.
Cannon-kun.
What the fuck is this? Mortal fucking combat? Fuck off.
the background.
Yeah. Cannon slumped backwards and was swallowed up into the depths of the well.
Everyone, run! The Chester sisters. They've locked on. We can't avoid them. Run! Let at least one of us remain alive.
At that time, Kraus and Kyrie and Nanjo certainly saw a golden curved line appear from the well and sew itself to the side of Shannon's head.
Shannon!
Her head had been pierced. The three had witnessed it perfectly until it had shot out the opposite side, blowing it away. Shannon fell to her knees, blood gushing from both sides of her head, and flopped to the ground.
Brrr.
They're after us. Run! We'll be killed!
Wait, why is Kyrie all of a sudden losing face?
Yeah.
Run! Run!
As Nanjo doubled over in shock, stunned by how Shannon had died, the Chester sisters did not allow him to escape.
Brrr.
A curved line again appeared from the well, and pierced from Nanjo's forehead to the back of his head in an instant, sewing through him. Thump. And so Nanjo passed away. Oh, we're just gonna finish up all the Twilights right now. Okay.
Yeah, seems like it.
Okay.
What the? Why? Where's the enemy coming from?
We are being sniped. I don't know where from, but they've honed in on us perfectly. Let's escape into the mansion, block their field of vision.
The two dashed towards the back door of the mansion. Then right as Kraus was about to shut the door behind him, a golden curved line appeared for the 4th time, piercing Kraus from the back of his head to his forehead and smashing that forehead.
No! At least I got to use my special attack once.
Why is Kyrie suddenly acting like...
Yeah, huh?
It's so strange! Kraus's body leaned over, fell down, and drew a neat radial pattern with the insides of his head. Kyrie ran wildly through the hallway, flew into some room, and locked the door. But even so, she wasn't even remotely convinced that this had saved her life. She would probably die soon. This was apparently one of... we never saw Shannon die there.
I mean, we saw her get blasted through the head.
Oh, we did. We did. You're absolutely right. Never mind. This was apparently one of the guest rooms. At that moment, Kyrie's eyes fell on a phone on the side table.
Also gonna call Battler?
God damn it, stop getting calls from the dead. After hanging up the call from Jessica, Battler had been about to dash out. At that instant, the phone rang again. Hello? Huh? Kyrie-san?
Yes, Battler-kun. I got lucky. I managed to escape the dungeon somehow. I really did have luck on my side.
Where are you? Is everyone okay? Over here, it looks like Jessica and George Aniki are...
Listen! I probably won't be alive for long.
Y'all have got to stop doing this! After that time, right after she thought the keyhole of the locked door might have glowed gold, a gold curved line drawing a helix. No, a golden sewing thread penetrated from there at an incredible speed and bored a hole into the floor by Kyrie's feet. Oh, that's unusual. The enemy, who sniped the other 4 one after another with extraordinary skill, apparently really does have trouble shooting me between the eyes with a single shot while I'm holed up in this room. But the next strike will probably hit. At this point, Kyrie finally remembered the first massive killing in the dining hall. That's right. This is what killed Rudolph and the rest, all 6 of them.
Listen, Battler-kun. I'm going to tell you everything exactly as I saw it. I'm sure you think there's something wrong with my head. Yes, it's okay for you to think that, even if I still haven't sorted out what it was I saw. Today, after you all returned to the guest house and the family conference began in the dining hall. And I'll tell you everything that happened next. Listen until the end, without butting in. The call might be suddenly cut off partway through. If it does at that time, I'll be dead.
Kyrie-san! Then Kyrie spoke. About Kinzo appearing and the family conference starting. About the 6 being killed and the 5 of them being confined. About how she had escaped somehow and ran away to where she was now, and how everyone had finally been killed. It was all spoken dispassionately with no dramatization, just as she's seen it. She even spoke about how everyone except her had been killed and how she had observed the moments of all their deaths, and how even now someone was trying to kill her.
Actually, even while we've been talking, I've been attacked 3 times. Something like a strange gold thread keeps flying in through the keyhole, spinning around and aiming for me. First it was by my feet, next it was close to my shoulders. Just now it grazed my ear. Seems getting more and more accurate. Looks like it'll go right between my eyes pretty soon.
Run, Kyrie-san, run away!
Where to?
Oh.
I've run this far, shut myself into a room and even locked the door, right? Now that I'm still being pursued, just where should I hide? Hey.
Kyrie-san.
Hey, Battler-kun. Are Jessica-chan and George-kun still alive?
Oh, not long ago I got a phone call from Jessica. It kinda sounded like they were done for.
Thought so. Yeah, when we were being killed one after another, I had kind of a premonition. I thought that perhaps the second twilight had been finished in the ceremony, killing 13 people, before our twilights had been reached. In short, when I die, that's 13 people. This way the ceremony is complete. The Golden Witch Beatrice will resurrect. I wonder what in the world will happen. On this island filled with demons and witches and swarming with goat monsters, I wonder just what will happen when even the leader of them all, the Golden Witch, appears. By now I don't have a clue what's going on anymore.
Kirie-san's voice had completely given up on her own life. Because Battler understood that, he couldn't stop the tears. There's just one thing I can advise you on. What? If a demon or a witch does appear in front of you, there's no need whatsoever to doubt whether it's real or not. Understand that it is what it seems to be.
All of them are telling him, just admit it's a witch, just admit it's a witch.
I'm like, is the game trying to tell us to stop thinking about it? No. They're trying to get it, but... You might think there's some trick, or that there's some true nature hidden behind it. If you have the time to think of something like that, it'd be much more constructive to plan out how not to damage the mood of whatever you're facing. Even mistakenly, you must not say, in that case, try showing me magic. Because to prove that, they'll probably use an even crueler way than before, to show you. I can't believe it! Even if I hear something like that coming from your mouth, I can't believe it. I understand. I understand why you can't believe. That's why I can give you this advice. Believe. You telling me to believe in Beatrice and demons and witches and monsters? Even being after shown things not of this world so clearly, I think we still weren't able to believe any of it. I'm still like that now. The true form of this thing that keeps attacking me, trying to shoot through my forehead, is something I don't understand, and I cannot believe it. So I want you alone to believe, to understand, to accept the existence of what we couldn't accept. If you do that for me, our deaths won't be wasted. Oh, Kyrie died a while ago. Yeah, it's just now coming to me that, like, Kyrie absolutely died a while ago. Like, and this is just Beto fucking with him. Also been worth it for me to make this phone call. Because the Chester sisters don't miss when they're functioning.
Mm-hmm.
And they've shot through locks and stuff before. Yeah, she's been dead a while. Kyrie-san! I'm still okay. It scratched me, but it missed again. It looks like I probably won't get another chance. Thank you. And goodbye, Battler-kun. I treated you coldly sometimes because you are Suma-san's son. Forgive me for those days. What do you mean, forgive you? Right now you're a mother to me, Kyrie-san. I felt as though I'd heard an incredible sound at the other end of the receiver. Then a noisy clacking sound. As though the receiver had fallen to the floor. Kyrie-san! Kyrie-san! That...
So...
Did you see that angry battler face?
So here's my theory.
Yep.
The reason we're getting all these fantastical events is because we only know what Battler knows. He has heard through the phone reports about what's happening.
Yep.
And these are he's like filling in the details, the doubts, the gaps, all of this wild shit that he's been told.
Yep. Okay.
That's why we're seeing all of these things where, oh, there's all these demons swarming around and magical stuff and all of that, when in reality it's just like, oh, Virgilia's Kumasawa did something horrible or something.
Okay, so he's filling in the gaps with, like, the best possible interpretation of his family trying to live into the last moment.
Yeah, something like that.
Kyrie-san did not answer through the phone again. What the fuck was that? Well, that was a long chapter.
Yeah.
Jesus, I would sat there like, okay, we'll get a quick recording session. This is 2.5 hours. Jesus Christ. Well, see you next time. When we admit witches are real? Probably? That's probably what's gonna happen, right? I think that's what's gonna happen.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.